From the Valley of the Sun, the New York Giants against the Phoenix Cardinals, an NFC Eastern Division battle this afternoon as they meet for the second time in 1989. The Giants, of course, atop the division. Philadelphia just a game back. And then the Redskins and Cardinals are at 4-4 as we begin the second half of the season. It is a typically gorgeous November afternoon, 78 degrees, slight wind, and the forecast with very little humidity for continued sunny and clear this afternoon. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Verne Lundquist, and welcome to Phoenix, where Gene Stallings and the Cardinals feel if they're going to have any chance to win the division, this is a must-win game. They are getting many of their injured players back in the lineup today, particularly in the offensive line. My partner is Terry Bradshaw, and Terry, that's got to give Gary Hogeboom a feeling of security to have those starters back in front of him. It
is so important for a quarterback to have his offensive line, Vernon. The one real interesting thing to note here is that with the center, the starting center out, and the tackle for the Cardinals, no deep passing attack. Very conservative offense. Now with these young men back and Wolf going back to the left guard, which is where he should have been in the first place, now I would look for the Cardinals to be able to open up and really start throwing the football further down the field. If the Cardinals are going to be successful today, I think they have to get their tight ends down the middle against that two-deep coverage of the Giants. And to do that, you got to have time to throw the football. Very important these linemen are back.
Barring a miracle, we don't expect to see Phil Simms today, but Jeff Hostetler came on for the injured Simms Monday night, played very well. He led the Giants to a victory, but that was at home, and this is out west.
Yeah, that's true, but let's look at who did he quarterback against? The Minnesota Vikings, just the #1 defense in the National Football League. Did an outstanding job. I don't think he'll play poorly today at all. If there's one thing that I would be concerned about if I were a Giant, we went down on the field, and before the game started, sweat was pouring off of these guys, helmets tilted back. And then if you look at the Cardinals, they didn't even have their shoulder pads on, had their socks pulled down. If it's going to be a passing contest today, Giants aren't used to this heat, and in the second half, that sun could be the 12th man for the Cardinals.
Giants have won the toss, and you can see from overhead that this is not a full stadium. It will be the largest crowd of the year, or should be by the time everybody has filtered in. Al Del Greco is having a terrific year, but has not had a touchback so far this year, and Dave Meggett and Mark Ingram are deep to return for the New York Giants. Del Greco will kick off from right to left. That'll be taken by Meggett at the 7. Slips a tackle at the 20 and is knocked down finally as he gets near the 29-yard line. Now we fully expect to see Jeff Hostetler start. Bill Parcells said Simms only in dire and extreme emergency. Hostetler Monday night, 21 yards rushing, 87 passing, modest numbers, but he had a big rollout that helped secure the win toward the end of the game. Elliott, Roberts, Oates, Moore, Riesenberg, and Zeke Mowat. Mark Bavaro will not play again today for the second week in a row. Anderson and Carthen in the backfield. Turner, Manuel, the wideouts. Ingram and Dave Meggett come in on obvious passing downs. From the 29, 1st and 10. There's the toss to Otis Anderson. And he is met and driven down after a 2-yard gain. Tim McDonald, number 46, made the tackle. Here's the defense and defensive line as Gene Stallings tries to go with a 4-3. These are 4 defensive ends forced by injury to play various positions. Nunn, Sadler, Galloway, and Wilson. The linebackers, there's a rookie in the middle who's having a very good year, Eric Hill. And the defensive secondary, Mack and Carter, joined by Young, who's back for the second week in a row. McDonald having a good season. Turner and Taylor come in on nickel and dime circumstances. Anderson tries to find yardage on the right side, and he is down at the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, one of the things that we're going to have to really keep an eye on, Verne, is the number of carries that Anderson has. And once again, the reason for that is it is extremely hot here. Anderson, not a young running back, but a young man coming off the East Coast, where it is much easier to run the ball a lot because it's cooler. It's hot out here. I expect Anderson to be spelled a great deal today, especially by Tillman.
3rd down, shotgun. 3rd and 6 for Hostetler. Now in his 6th year out of West Virginia. Hostetler goes to Meggett, the running back out of the backfield. 1st down, New York at the 48. Dave Meggett. And Eric Hill makes the tackle.
Meggett coming out of the backfield, number 30, up inside Now all of a sudden Harvey, notice 56, Harvey comes up to take on Meggett as if he's blocking, and then Meggett released to the outside. Harvey was frozen to the inside. An easy job by the quarterback that time, Hostetler. Just get him the ball and let Meggett catch it and turn it up the field.
1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Otis Anderson, as he weaves his way across the midfield stripe and down to the Cardinal 47.
You know, another interesting thing, Anderson is a man that says that in my early days, in my early part of my career, I used my speed as my #1 asset. And now in my waning years in professional football, I use my power. Well, if the Giants want to keep Anderson in the game for 4 quarters, I think it's important they use his power and go between the tackles, Verne, not sweep him out wide where he's running sideways, but straight ahead and use his power.
2nd and 6. Moat starts in motion. Dive play at left guard. Anderson, flag is down.
Look at Eric Hill there, young rookie out of Louisiana State.
Face mask, Cardinals. Howard Rowe is the head of the officiating crew today. And this will be the first penalty of the year. Interesting, the Cardinals have been penalized 60 times in the first half of the season, and the Giants only 36. They're one of the least penalized teams in the league, and they had 9 of those 36 last week.
Yeah, Parcells says key to our winning so far has been the fact that we've had very few penalties.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty, defense, 1st down.
That's pretty generic, but it keeps the blame off of somebody.
Well, looks like we got our cameras on Eric Hill. 5-yard penalty means that the tackler didn't really mean to grab the face guard. It wasn't a deliberate job. There's Eric Hill's right hand. Number 58, notice outside, grabs Anderson by the face mask. Just an instinct, a natural reaction. When someone shows up and you're going to tackle, you just grab them, and face mask was the first thing showed up.
From the 40, 1st and 10 Giants. No score, opening moments of the game. Play fake, Hostetler back, looks left and goes right. Nice catch at the 24-yard line. Lionel Manuel, number 86, makes the grab.
Great job by Hostetler. He told us that the one thing that he would bring to the offense is mobility, agility. Well, naturally, with Sims with an injured right ankle, that's going to come into play today, the ability of Hostetler. And then if you go to the outside and notice the cushion that Manuel, 86, look at the cushion he has. And then he says to us, my favorite route is what? The in route. There's the in route. Beautiful job by Hostetler. Good catch.
Dave Meggett comes into the lineup for the Giants. 1st down at the 24. They are driven with the opening kickoff. Here's a fake, and Meggett wants to throw, but great coverage downfield, and Meggett has to eat the ball. The defender did not go for the fake at the goal line.
Then the defender didn't go for the fake because he had his man covered. He didn't turn around and look. He was running all the way. There's Meggett outside. Not a very good job. You know, when you do this, as a running back, you act as though you're going to run. Not a very good job of acting as though Meggett was going to run the football. Fooled no one. Excellent job by the Cardinals secondary to stay with their people and not come up.
2nd down and 9. No score. 10:25 to go in the opening quarter. 2nd time the Giants have ever played here. Here's Otis Anderson going left and getting cut down inside the 20-yard line.
If we see Anderson run wide any place today, we'll see him run wide to the left if he's going to be successful running, because he has a pull groin. He has a bad right groin. And if you're going to push and cut inside, it's easier to take the left, go to the left, push with your left foot, Verne, and then cut back the grain. So therefore, run him left if you want him to cut back right.
Otis Anderson suffered that pulled groin muscle in the first preseason game back in August. There's Phil Sims. And he said, you ought to see me on Monday or Tuesday. I am a mess. It hurts after every game. 3rd down, no score. 4 wide receivers set down for the Giants. Quarterback draw, Hostetler. A flag is down as Hostetler looks for one more block and is in for the score. Now check the flag. $19 if it stands. Offside.
Offside, defense, number 78, decline, touchdown.
Offside, Hostetler. How does a quarterback run with a football and not get tackled? By simply having a man coverage. But notice that 56 Harvey was spying Hostetler. He said, "You're my man," but he was blocked. And now Hostetler gets outside. What did he say? "I bring to this offense the ability to run with a football." He did for a touchdown.
Allegre with the extra point. It is up and it is good. Watch the block at the 5 as Jeff Hostetler gets the first rushing touchdown today. Stephen Baker on Carl Carter.
Beautiful job by Baker. He comes inside, sees his man, hit it. The receivers do more than just catch it, they block.
Giants at 7-1, most impressive on their opening drive. Jeff Hostetler gets the touchdown from 19 yards out after a Stephen Baker block. That just incidentally is the first rushing touchdown this year by any Giant other than Otis Anderson. Allegre will kick off. Sekahima and Tony Baker are the deep men. And this will be Tony Baker, number 44, out to the 21 or 22-yard line. Gary Hogeboom signed as the highest profile Plan B player this year. Signed after he had been unprotected by the Indianapolis Colts. 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions so far this year. And the offensive line, and he's got some of the missing players back. Sharp and Wolf on the left side. Kennard, who's missed 2 games because of a visit to an alcoholic treatment center. Lance Smith, Tootie Robbins, and Awald. In the backfield, Jordan Farrell, the wide receivers Smith and Jones. And McConkey, the former Giant, and Don Holmes come in on obvious passing downs. Split backs. Now they shift into the I. And it's a gain out to the 23-yard line. Leonard Marshall, number 70, makes the tackle. And defensively for the Giants, it'll look this way. Up front, Leonard Marshall, joined by Howard and John Washington. And on the outside, 2 of the outstanding linebackers in the league, and then Gary Reasons and Johnny Cooks complement them. In the defensive secondary, Collins and Williams, Kennard and Guyton, Cox and White come in on obvious passing down. Second down and 8. Awald starts in motion. Now the shift of the backs. And Hogeboom fires a little flare pass, which is dropped, and that is a legal forward pass and not a lateral. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 now for the Cardinals. Update you on other scores around the league. Rich Carlos just kicked his 7th field goal for the Vikings. And the Rams tie up Minnesota 21-all. And they have gone to overtime. That field goal came just as the clock expired, 21-21. And Chicago and Green Bay, the Packers have come from behind and lead Chicago now 14-13. 3rd and 8. Hogeboom out of the shotgun. Four-man rush by the Giants. Hogeboom across the middle, dropped. And he had a man open. It'll be 4th down. Don Holmes.
You have to believe that Holmes was a little bit surprised. Holmes will be the one receiver that we will see the Cardinals use as primarily down the seams he runs, Verne. And all he's doing that for is to draw attention to himself with the 2 safeties. And I believe that Holmes was caught off balance that time because Hogeboom saw the safety split, and then Holmes came free, and then Hogeboom hit him. I don't think he was expecting the ball.
Dave Meggett back to return Rich Camarillo's punt. Camarillo now in his 9th year and his 3rd team in the NFL. Meggett at the 23. To the 37 and maybe the 38-yard line before Eric Hill makes a tackle. 7-0 Giants on top. A 19-yard TD run by Jeff Hostetler. Giant quarterback Phil Simms, injured on the 6th play Monday night against the Minnesota Vikings, has tried to practice, I guess, Friday and Saturday and in the pregame workouts today, but really, Terry, can't throw to his left at all.
No, and one of the dead giveaways, and the worst thing a quarterback can do is when he backpedals, everyone says when he backpedals, he's throwing to the left. And in pregame warm-up, Phil had to backpedal, and then when he did, all he did was throw to the left, but he opened up, and then he threw to the right. That's a dead giveaway, and he obviously in pregame warm-up could not go. He was limping badly, and he gave it a shot, and another week off, and he should be able to come back next week.
Jeff Hostetler in his first start of the season. And off right side. Otis Anderson looks for a block and has 3 Cardinals to drive him out of bounds at the 36. Anthony Bell and Eric Hill the first there. Eric Hill, first round draft choice out of LSU.
Said one of the really bad things about being a rookie middle linebacker with the Cardinals is that he's a little frustrated because he doesn't get to do as much. He would like to blitz more, but he says, when I blitz, all I'm doing is doing it to occupy someone so that someone else can get the sack. There you saw the range of motion he had playing off blockers and getting out wide and making the stop of Anderson.
Second down and 10. Zeke Moat starts in motion, now comes back. Full man rush with a stunt, and the pass goes deep left side and is complete at the 50-yard line. The catch made by Odessa Turner, number 83, who's been kind of a quiet person in that lineup in recent weeks.
Well, one of the things is the Giants, with their running attack, and because of injuries themselves, what they're doing is they have a very controlled passing attack, but they're moving the football around to a lot of people. And when you do that, when you have that type of balanced offense, not every receiver is going to catch 50, 60, 70 passes like J.T. Smith for the Cardinals.
First down and 10, New York with a 7-0 lead. 7.5 to go, first quarter. Anderson cut down to 49 of the Cardinals on this play by Dave Galloway, number 65. Overtime now, the Los Angeles Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. Carlos with 7 field goals rather to account for all of Minnesota points. And
Look at
Green Bay knocks off Chicago 14-13.
When you hate to be on the what might be a bus ride back to Chicago.
Atlanta leads Buffalo 27-21.
There's Frank Wright. Kelly's back.
And the Jets, Tampa Bay trailing Cleveland. Second down. Hostetler, secondary receiver. Nice catch at the 44. Grab made by Odessa Turner again in front of Carl Carter, number 41.
Normally when a quarterback turns and goes from the right side to the left side, the backside routes are normally longer, deeper than the right side routes. And the reason is so that the quarterback, when he does turn around in a panic situation, has the timing with the receiver. That time, beautiful job by Hostetler. But once again, Odessa Turner deep enough to allow the separation so that when Hostetler came back, he was coming out of his cut and the timing route was there.
It's short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Giants. And they will go from a spread formation and hand it off to Meggett, who starts left, comes back right, and picks up enough to move the chain as he gets to the 40-yard line.
You heard of the old system with the quality control. When you talk to Gene Stallings, it's quality control. One of the things that happens with the Giants is when Meggett is in the backfield, you think, according to quality control, that he's going to be the guy that's going out on a pass route. But that time the Giants blew the computer on the quality control and ran him with the football to get the first down.
Update you on the Rams, Minnesota in overtime. Minnesota gets a safety and defeats the Rams by 2. Back to play here on first down. The Giants leading 7-0 on Hostetler's touchdown run. That tackle made by Eric Hill on Otis Anderson. Otis was very animated yesterday in talking about what this year has meant to him, and he said, every time I hear the gun sound at the end of the game and I can walk off the field, I have accomplished what I set out for the week.
He said, I'm a joke.
Yeah.
He said, I'm a circus act. And also, what is he went on as far as to say that I'm just leasing this job. When Joe Morris comes back, hey, I'm on the bench. What a great attitude he has, and he very well is going to be in the Pro Bowl this year.
Second down and 7. Roussan out of a double wing set. Starts in motion, and Hostetler looks that direction, goes deep, and overthrows Mark Ingram, number 82. It'll be 3rd down.
Even though that pass was incomplete by Hostetler, the thing I'm most impressed with is his ability to pick up the player that is wide open. Look how far, look at the cushion that Mack, 47, gives Ingram. Look at that, 10, 15 yards deep. Ingram breaks to the outside. He's wide open. A good job of selection by the quarterback. He just didn't get the ball to him.
And how about that isolation shot from the blimp overhead?
First time I've ever worked with the blimp.
Is it really?
First time ever, I think.
3rd and 7. Blitz. Picked off. McDonald for the Cardinals. One man to beat. And John Elliott saves a touchdown.
Just an excellent coverage, excellent coverage. The blitz told the quarterback man coverage to the outside, but then the real key was the fact that you could not see the safeties. You could not pick up safety McDonald. Notice he goes to the left. Hostetler sees the blitz, says, I'm going to the left. There's McDonald to make the interception.
A 45-yard return for Tim McDonald with his 3rd pick of the year. First down at the 27-yard line. 7-0 New York. And off Tony Jordan. He gets nothing. Might have gotten 3 feet to the 26-yard line. This is a Phoenix team that in game 3 of the season destructed in New York. Gary Hogeboom threw 8 passes in the first quarter and a half, and 4 of them were picked off by the Giants. 1 returned by Kennard for a touchdown, and Gary said it got to the point it was so bad. All I wanted to do was complete a 2-yard pass to anybody wearing a jersey on my team. Almost returned by Kennard. And flags are down as well. Intended for Awalt and overthrown. Here is the discussion with Howard Rowe. Motion call against the Cardinals. And again, that point, they came in having been penalized 60 times. This will be 62 for the year.
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 80. Decline. 3rd down.
So it won't be number 62. It'll stay at number 60. There's Gene Stallings. And it'll be 3rd down. 3:54 to go, opening quarter. Stallings now in his 4th year and the final year of his contract here in Phoenix. And much speculation both in this region and around the country about his future, and many think he's done the best coaching job of anybody in the league this year, given all the injuries they've had. Stunts by the Giant defense. The pass across the middle, complete. Short of the first down. Ernie Jones, who is playing in place of the injured Roy Green. Green out with a fractured shoulder blade and should be back next week. They thought he might be available today, but the doctors checked him yesterday and said, no, 1 more week at least. So Jones continues to start.
What you saw there was Jones coming in, Verne, and when you have an offense like the Cardinals, which is a possession offense, what has to happen is young receivers have to catch the ball, and then they have to be able to run for the first down. The passing attack of the Cardinals most times will not be beyond the first down marker, so the receivers have to catch it and run for the first down.
Del Greco has only missed 1 all year. This from 37 yards out, and it's good, and that is his 10th field goal in a row, and it ties a Cardinal club record, set twice by Jim Bakken, who is one of the great field goal kickers, perhaps the greatest in Cardinal history. Del Greco has tied him at 7-3. There have been well-documented attendance problems in Phoenix, and we don't have a full house today. They do expect the highest crowd of the year, somewhere around 48 to 50,000 today. But as you can see, there are a few empty seats, and it is quite warm. There's the Fuji blimp up there. He came all the way from New York to be here as a part of our telecast for today's game. Del Greco, who just kicked that 37-yard field goal, now authors this one, taken by David Meggett. And he's down at the 26-yard line. Jeff Hostetler comes back on the field. Hostetler picked off by Tim McDonald. First pass interception of the year. Jeff, of course, started the New Orleans game last year and then was pulled in that game, and said yesterday that he still has some vivid and not very pleasant memories from that experience.
I hadn't gotten over it. And we're talking quite a long time ago, so I haven't gotten over it yet. Don't know when I'll get over it.
Has had a stormy relationship with Bill Parcells over 6 years. Handoff in the middle, flag down. Otis Anderson gets to the 30-yard line. And probably get a holding call here.
You saw Maurice Carthen, number 44, leading the way that time for Anderson. That is Carthen actually is the third tight end in this offense with Bavaro out now. The Giants had used.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty. First down.
The Giants had used 3 tight ends, and the motion by one of the tight ends as a lead blocker for Anderson was responsible for a lot of success that Anderson has had so far. And so they wanted to keep this offense intact, and so they took Carthen now and put him on the wing and motion him like they did Bavaro and Moat, and he's the lead blocker now for Anderson.
Parcells said he's worried about Bavaro. He doesn't know when he's going to get him back. Thinks he might be out for a while. First down and 20. Toss to Anderson. Hit by Galloway. Shakes that tackle and works his way out near the 24-yard line.
Looking at Anderson, more of aware. He says, I'm more aware now than I've ever been as a running back, and that's probably because of age. He didn't really have an answer for it, but it's probably because of age, and everyone worries about his age. He doesn't like to talk about it, but Parcells will be the first one to tell you. So the guy hadn't done anything in 3 years, so he's got a 28-year-old body, 29-year-old body, and he's fresh. So I'm run him some more.
Now Otis said that that probably will add a few years to the career. Parcells yesterday told Otis Anderson, I'm giving you an honor as the half-season player of the year. You get half an award. They're going to take you to the banquet, but then you got to find your own way home. Watch this one go for a bunch. Otis Anderson. Out of bounds all the way up to the 48-yard line. 24-yard gain.
Beautiful faking by the quarterback. Hostetler will come out. This is the screen. Moat's in motion. Now the fake. There's the fake. Nice little fake there. Beautiful job by Roussan. Now the fake flow one way, turn around to the back. Little screen off to the backside. Fooled everyone on the Cardinals who were in hot pursuit of Roussan. And there you see Anderson by himself down the sideline.
First and 10. Giants lead it 7-3. 94 seconds to go. First quarter. The toss. Lewis Tillman, the first-year player who spills Otis Anderson periodically. He's the man who made the big hit on kickoff coverage on Monday night that forced the first Alfred Anderson fumble. Total offense thus far, the Giants 129 yards and Phoenix 10. Phoenix trailing by just 4 points. That by virtue of a pass interception returned 45 yards that set up a 37-yard field goal. Up the middle, Anderson on second down. It's Tillman, rather. And he gets to the 45-yard line.
One of the places you like to run against a 4-3, Verne, is up the middle. You have one middle linebacker, Eric Hill. If you get him out of the way and you can split the tackles, there's a nice hole in there. And so the best thing to do is just go straight at Sadler and Galloway, the 2 tackles of the Cardinals. If you get by them and the linebackers out of the way, then you're into the secondary. So quick dive stuff is really good plays against a 4-man front the Cardinals are using.
That was Rod Sadler, number 72. 3rd and 4. Shotgun. Phoenix adjusts defensively. No blitz. Pass in the left flat for Odessa Turner. First down, New York. At the 39-yard line, and the 3rd first quarter catch for Odessa Turner.
One of the things Hostetler was complaining about last week was he told Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator, don't hold me back. Let me throw it deep. Don't freeze us up. But he froze them up. What are we seeing today? Short passing.
On the average, the Cardinals charge the highest prices in the league for tickets to watch the game. These are not some of those seats. Those fellas hiked up there, got the cooler spread out. They're sitting midway between the ASU Gymnasium and Sun Devil Stadium. trying to see the game. I don't know what the view's like, but it wasn't for suntan. We begin quarter number 2. Lewis Tillman stays in the lineup. New York Giants lead it 7-3, and they have dominated offensively and in time of possession. 12 minutes and 48 seconds to 2.5 for Phoenix.
Now that's pretty amazing. And once again, we talked about for the game about, you know, this heat out here. Now you're looking at almost 13 minutes of offense. And you got to wonder, you got to get in early in this heat, score early, and anticipate a layoff in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter.
Second down. Little flea flicker. Hostetler can't find anybody open. Now fires it deep and it is incomplete at the 7-yard line. Fine defensive job by Cedric Mack on Mark Ingram.
Well, we've seen 2 gadget plays run by the Giants. The first one was a halfback option pass by Meggett, and now the throwback gadget pass from the quarterback to whomever is in the end zone. But once again, it has not worked. Now, you ask yourself the question, why the gadget plays? Evidently, there's a book on the Cardinals that says that they really do commit inside the 30. They're very aggressive and will come up and support anything. Well, the Cardinals are not doing it. They're laying off, and these plays will not work unless the defense is extremely aggressive.
4 wide receivers now on 3rd down. Hostetler audibles the play, and that sends Ingram over to a wing on the right side. Hit as he lets it go across the middle, caught, touchdown. No flags. Stephen Baker. 35 yards, it's 13-3.
First time we've seen man coverage, Verne. When you get a weak safety that's committed to a back, there's no one in the middle to protect the middle. There's the 47, that's Mack blitzing. No one in the middle. What's the first play you always protect? That is the middle. Never let a receiver get inside of you to the post. Baker gets inside. Good job by Hostetler. Touchdown.
That is just the 4th catch of the year for Stephen Baker and his 2nd touchdown. So there haven't been many, but they've counted. And Allegre will try the field goal as the Giants continue to dominate here in the Valley of the Sun. 35-yard touchdown toss. Dave Meggett congratulates Stephen Baker. The Giants are up 14-3 over Gene Stallings' team. 14:06 to go first half. Giants comfortably on top, comfortably with a lot of time left, and Raul Allegre will kick it off. 14-3, touchdown run by Jeff Hostetler, and then a touchdown toss to Stephen Baker as they beat Jay Taylor, number 27, the rookie cornerback and safety out of San Jose State. He was the man who was trying to cover the middle, and he didn't have any help.
Yeah, now that he's gotten beat by on the post, I doubt seriously now whether Gene Stallings will come out and be aggressive and blitz, because that's exactly what he did. He felt like he had to blitz the Giants. He did, and it cost him.
There's Allegre's kick, taken by Tony Baker as they kick it away from Sukahima. And Baker with some room all the way to the 42-yard line. And brings a little bit of inspiration back to the crowd, a 33-yard kickoff return. Let's go take a look at that touchdown toss. Hostetler to Stephen Baker.
It's a corner blitz. And once you have a blitz by a safety or corner, you have man-for-man coverage on the outside. Notice 43, Jelani Young moving over to pick up his coverage, and there's the blitz by Cedric Mack, 47. When you see a blitz like that, it tells you there's no one in the middle to protect the middle. Therefore, the corner must not let a receiver inside. Taylor did, and then you saw the touchdown by Baker.
There's a toss. Tony Baker out to the 42-yard line. He picks up 1. Terry, I just want to go back to the point you made about the time of possession and the disparity in the two. You said at the top of the program that the weather might be a problem for the Giant defense in the second half if they had to play a lot. And obviously, they're the great beneficiaries of this ball control.
What you're seeing now is score early, score a lot, because in the second half, we might be too tired to be able to match points for points. So the Giants now are coming out and scoring early in the first half.
2nd and 10. Cardinals still looking for their first down of the ball game. They have a field goal, 37 yards from Del Greco, but that was set up by an interception. No flag. Hogeboom Now there's a late flag. The catch is made at the 49. It will not be enough for the first down if it stands. J.T. Smith makes the grab.
One of the positions you might see J.T. Smith, the wide receiver for the Cardinals, is on the left side in the slot. Remember, he has a broken bone in his left hand. Therefore, he'll go to the left, and if he runs inside routes, notice.
Offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Notice he's got a broken left hand. Hooks in over the middle are easy to catch because they're body catches. But if he wants to catch deep routes, he'll go from his right to his left so he can use his good hand, his right hand, to be the brace to catch the football, and then use the broken hand as just the sealer, just something to kind of help guide it into his body.
Second down and 20 after the holding call on Joe Wolf. And again the shotgun. Hogeboom changes the play. Novacek is the man in motion. Four-man rush. Little flip in the left side. Nice job by Sikahema to set up his blockers, and he gets the 10 back out near the 40 by Sikahema, who, because of all the injuries, has been given a chance as a pass receiver and running the ball, which he has ordinarily not done. They, of course, lost Stump Mitchell, their outstanding running back, in the New York game, and one of the more poignant scenes all year was Otis Anderson cradling his former teammate Stump Mitchell as he was consoled on the field. Third down and 10. Third and 11. Giants don't blitz much, and it doesn't look like they will now. They don't. Mark Duckins is in the lineup. He comes, and the pass is deep left side, tipped away by Perry Williams. Incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Just a deep corner route. There's nothing fancy here. Just go down, fake to the post. Smith to the inside. Fakes and goes to the outside. Williams is standing there. This is a poor read by the quarterback, Hogeboom. There's no way he should have thrown this ball. Come off of that, man. He's got two guys on. Come off of him and go to your other receiver. Excellent job by Williams. Underneath him and then knocks the ball away.
Rich Camarillo on the punt. 11:51 to go. First half, 14-3. Giants lead it. Make it at the 9. Out to the 21-yard line. A 51-yard punt by Camarillo, 12 on the make it return. Bill Parcells said yesterday, and this will not surprise any of you who know him or listen to him, I'm scared to death. I wonder if he still is. They're up 14-3. Giants just beginning a 2-game West Coast trip. They go to Los Angeles next week, and they've certainly enjoyed the first stop. They have dominated Phoenix thus far, 176 yards to 19. And Jeff Hostetler has run for one and thrown for one as New York is out to a 14-3 lead. Gene Stallings and his team thought that this is a game they must win to have any shot. Terry, what do they have to do to get back in this one now?
Well, they've got to stop the Giants. The Giants have been able to run the football. Hostetler's just been razor sharp. They blitzed early, got caught, burned for the touchdown. They blitzed again. Hostetler out of the pocket, ran for a touchdown. Man coverage is destroying them. I would think they'll change their man philosophy and go to more zones now to stop all the big plays.
Back to play from the 20. First down and 10. Hostetler pumps once. Alternate receiver, Zeke Moat, first down after a 15-yard gain. Out to the 35-yard line, maybe the 36. Lonnie Young hit the tackle. Another New York first down. How did Minnesota win it? Mike Merriweather blocked a Ram punt in overtime. It went out of the end zone for a safety, and Minnesota came from behind and won it. And Green Bay knocks off Chicago by 1. The Packers win over the Bears for the first time since '84. So Minnesota has a 1-game edge over the Packers and the Bears. Tampa and Detroit trail in that division. First down and 10, New York. Odessa Turner starts in motion. Toss to Otis Anderson. Riesenberg is out in front, and Otis cuts it back to the left to the 38-yard line. Tackle made by Ken Harvey, number 56.
This is for the first times we've seen today. Notice the right guard and the tackle reach and pull block, and then the pitch, and then Anderson will go out, and then when he sees the flow, he'll cut back against the grain. This is outstanding, and one of the things I say about this is that running is inside the tackle, so this is a stretch outside the tackles, pull the guard and tackle, and then Anderson cutting against the flow.
10-10 remaining in the first half. Hostetler back. Tipped away, Cedric Mack, number 47. Intended for Lionel Manuel.
The technique that the corners use for the Cardinals is to play off. Look at this. Mack on your left. Notice the cushion. Hostetler has no intention of throwing this ball out to the outside to Manuel. He is looking to the left and then comes back, but Mack is sitting there. He just settles right there. Look for later now for the Giants to come out, pump that hook, and then send it deep.
3rd and 8. Four wide receivers set for the Giants. Hostetler scrambles and lobs it. Caught for the first down at the 42-yard line. Lionel Manuel. And Hostetler continues to look sharp. A 20-yard gain on 3rd and 8.
Lonnie Young, 43, was spying Hostetler. When Hostetler moved out of the pocket, Young ran to Hostetler. The minute he committed to Hostetler, he threw in behind him. Looking to the left, Hostetler's. Now there's the movement. Now watch Young. See how Young, 43, came out to the outside to make the tackle on the quarterback, and then right in behind him came Manuel.
And you can see Lonnie Young just absolutely upset with himself. First down, Lewis Tillman comes in the lineup. He gets the handoff, or rather the toss, and goes right inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Young man out of Jackson State.
Now, when the Giants have been in this field position against the Cardinals, what has happened?
Gadget plays.
Gadget plays. Have they been successful?
No.
No, absolutely not.
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm trying to tell you that they're not going to use them again.
Okay.
I'm saying that that's not going to happen. But the one thing that does work well down there, and once again, understand the Cardinals love to play man defense. They love to blitz, but the Giants have been successful. I don't think they're going to gamble and blitz Hostetler.
2nd and 5. Carthen starts in motion from a wing position. And they go over the left side. That might be enough for the first down. It'll be close at the 32. Lewis Tillman with the carry, and Michael Zordich, number 38, made the tackle. Zordich, who had the big game against Dallas last week, his interception return for a touchdown. Atlanta beats Buffalo 30-28.
You know, there was a lot of hollering about Jim Kelly coming back as quarterback, and they love that Frank Wright. Hey, they love anybody that's winning. This young kid's a guy that came off the bench and played so well the last 3 weeks, and then Kelly came back in, got the job, and I don't know if Wright played today, but they got beat. Boy, if Kelly played the whole game, I bet they're screaming up there.
First down. Behind the line. Great defensive play made by Freddie Joe Nunn, who was one of those players who was absent for 30 days. Is because of a violation of the substance abuse policy, and Freddie Joe back last week.
Freddie Joe Nunn, you know, the tackle, the running up inside, it's so unusual to see a defensive end make the stop on a running play that's going up inside. That tells me that Freddie Joe Nunn is really committing down inside. That makes him vulnerable to run the ball to the outside.
14-3 New York, 2nd down. Hostetler hands it off to Otis Anderson, hit behind the line as he bumps into his own man who was driven backwards. And Freddie Joe Nunn makes the tackle and pats Otis Anderson on the head. The Cardinals at one point or another this season have had 14 players who have started at least a game, miss at least a game. And Nunn, of course, was out for a month. They got Derek Kennard back today as the offensive center. But that's a tough task for Gene Stallings, and he, as we said, is in the final year of his contract here. And no one knows what decision Bill Bidwell will make. 3rd and 12, 14-3, Giants lead it. Hostetler dropped right in the basket. Jay Taylor, who was burned for the touchdown and then blistered verbally by that man Gene Stallings as he came to the sideline, will not want to get anywhere close to Stallings this time.
Taylor had a chance to redeem himself for getting beat on the time. Hostetler looking to his left, Verne, comes back to his right, but an excellent job by Taylor, who was actually playing up that time on Turner, read the eyes of the quarterback, came off his man, and almost had the interception.
Now Sean Landetta, who has 8 punts down inside the 20, but only 1 in the last 5 weeks, might get this one. Yes, he will. Landetta had 7 punts down inside the 20 in the first 3 games, but only 1. And again, it's Rene Thompson. Bill Parcells said yesterday, that's why we lead the league in net punt return. Rene Thompson.
Look at the effort 21 Rene Thompson makes. A backup left corner. There's the bounce, a beautiful punt. There's the big bounce that really gave Rene Thompson the opportunity to lunge out, reach back, and knock the ball back in play.
6:11 remaining in the first half of play. The Giants have pinned the Phoenix Cardinals inside the 10 at the 6. They did review that play by Rene Thompson and allowed it to stand. An outstanding effort by the special teams player. Play fake, Hogeboom from the end zone. Flips it out, caught by Farrell. And he is out of bounds just short of the first down of the 15-yard line.
That's really a great call, a great offensive call, but also a very iffy call. And I will tell you why, Verne. A lot of great football teams, when they have a team backed up inside their 5-yard line, will blitz. Now, if the Giants had elected to blitz to play action, they would have probably gotten to safety because there's no way the quarterback, Hogeboom, would have been able to get the ball off. A gutsy call and an excellent job with execution.
2nd down and 1. Split backs this time. Trap play inside. Earl Farrell, who in the absence of Stump Mitchell has become the leading ground gainer for the Cardinals, and they've had trouble with the ground attack. Total offense, as a matter of fact, prior to that last play, 220 yards, 222 yards for the Giants, and 28 for the team in white.
Well, just an excellent job. I mean, time of possession tells you right then that the Giant offense is doing an excellent job of controlling the clock, picking up a lot of first downs. The Cardinals really haven't had the football when they had. They've gotten in there, punted the football back to the Giants, who've just eaten up the clock.
Well, try 18 minutes and 49 seconds to 5 minutes so far. That is a first down, and it is the first down for the Phoenix Cardinals. Phoenix opened with 3 games in a row on the road, the third of which was at New York when they were blown out 35-7. They won their first 2. There's Jim Schaffner, the offensive coordinator. Schaffner was also the coordinator at Dallas for a time, where he coached with Gene Stallings and Tom Landry, who, by the way, is here today. First down and 10. Here's a blitz by Reasons. Hogeboom, great protection across the middle. Catch is made. J.T. Smith, cast and all.
Cast and all, and I said, which side would he run into the end? He would come from his right to his left. But J.T. Smith is coming from his left to his right.
Flag is down. They'll wipe it out, Terry.
Play action fools no one. Now, Hogeboom standing in and firing and throwing the left hand. An excellent job of using his hand. Smith with a broken bone.
Offense, number 63, 10 yards, first down.
You know, last week, that's on Tootie Robbins' back after being out for a while, but J.T. Smith last week against Dallas dropped 4 balls, 1 for a touchdown, and he said as he continued to drop passes, he took a pair of scissors and kept cutting more and more of the cast off until finally at the end of the game, he had a little bitty dot there, not a whole lot protecting his hand.
J.T. Smith heads left. He's had a couple of catches wiped out by penalties. It'll be 1st and 18. 14-3, Giants lead, nearing the 5-minute mark of the first half. Hogeboom in trouble. Left side. Catch is made by Ron Wolfley, number 24, who's normally used as a blocking back. Matter of fact, that's only his 4th catch of the year, and it's not for much.
There was your blitz that time, Verne, by Mark Collins, a cornerback, a corner blitz, and The book on Hogeboom is Verne. You can get pressure on him. He will throw the ball up in the air, and you can get interceptions. Obviously, they know that. The Giants had 4 interceptions against him the last time they played. But the offense that he runs, Hogeboom runs, is an offense where he goes 1-2. He'll have the ball out of his hands on his second read.
Hogeboom has been intercepted just once in the last 2 weeks. And that horrid day against New York that we've talked about a bunch. Now the blitz threatened by the Giants. They are not coming. It's a 3-man rush. Now a 4, and the pass is way wide to the left side. Intended for J.T. Smith. I think he was the closest player to it. And the fans react with a little bit of derision. Gary, of course, 6 years in Dallas. And then with Ron Meyer in Indianapolis. Said he thought about signing with Green Bay and also had an offer from Buffalo, but he thought his circumstance here would be the best. He, of course, was aware of the arthritic problems that Neil Lomax continues to have, and he was familiar with Schaffner and Stallings. Hogeboom, deep right side. Incomplete. Intended for Ernie Jones.
That's the same pass that Hogeboom threw in the last series. They had the ball where he tried to hit Smith on the corner route. Now he turns around and tries to hit Holmes, but there's 2 people on him, Verne. There's a guy underneath Holmes and one on top of him. Impossible to throw that. And what a quarterback has to do is remain calm, turn around, and go to an alternate receiver. Don't stay there. Don't force it. Come off, find somebody else, and get something out of the pass.
Dave Meggett is back to return it, and the Giants should come out of this with good field position. Here's Camarillo's punt. Meggett moves up and grabs it at the 43. Downfield coverage, excellent by the Cardinals, as Meggett does not get to the 50-yard line. Eric Hill makes the tackle. 3:51 to go first half. It's been all New York. They're up 14-3. If you're a member of the Arizona State University swimming team, you probably don't care that within a mile the Phoenix Cardinals are being defeated by the New York Giants. You've got your own workout to contend with, as that young man is doing. Well, less than a mile. It's right across the street. Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. First down and 10, New York. They lead it 14-3. A Hostetler run of 19 yards and a pass to Stephen Baker. Here's Anderson, who is knocked down by Eric Hill, the middle linebacker, number 58.
Stalling loves this Hill guy. What are the key ingredients to being a middle linebacker is having the vision, being able to see things quickly and then react. Really, a middle linebacker is a guy that cleans up everything. He's the plugger. He has to plug the tackle holes and the guard holes and the outside stuff and not let people cut back. And for a rookie to be starting at middle linebacker in the National Football League tells you this guy is really an outstanding football player.
Eric Hill was the number 1 draft choice of the Cardinals. And after having been wiped out in the draft in recent years, they've had the last couple of years a decent amount of success.
Normally the head coaches at the Cardinals have no say whatsoever into the draft system. It's done by the scouting department and Wilson and everyone else.
Hostetler back deep left side. Man coverage intended for Turner. Caught, but out of bounds. Carl Carter, Odessa Turner, and the side judge was right there. Merrill Douglas. In or out? Let's take a look, Gary.
Turner, just a simple streak pattern down the field. Once again, the technique of the Cardinals. Notice now, Carl Carter turns his hips and is running, but he didn't turn his hips till after 15 yards. There's the left hand up. Now this is a little jostling, and what allowed Carter, did he catch it? Yes, he caught the ball, foot's out. But Carter looks up at the ball, and therefore there's no flag whatsoever.
3rd and 10. Giants adjustment by the Cardinal defense. They may come with a corner blitz. They don't. Hostetler back, has a man in his face, and he lets it go. Rod Sadler, who once said playing defensive tackle in the National Football League is like being a human fire hydrant.
Wonder what he meant by that, Verne.
And you're surrounded by dogs. Watch him again.
Sadler 72 coming. Wilson 90 went inside. Sadler stunted, came back to the outside, and then that allowed him to get in to put the pressure on Hostetler.
Landetta inside the 20 again, second time in the first half. Rene Thompson is the star of the special teams, particularly on punt coverage. Watch him on this play, Terry.
Well, he does this so often. And how many times have you seen Rene Thompson, 21, go down under a punt and catch the doggone thing and down it himself? Look, he's in a position now as Cedric Mack gets away from him. Rene is there to make another catch, gets in behind Him at 36, and the reason he did that, in case he fumbled the ball, he was behind the guy, he would pick it up and be able to go in for the touchdown.
Next Saturday on CBS, college football action as the Miami Hurricanes battle the Pitt Panthers. Or some of you in this area will see Air Force take on the Cougars of BYU. That's college football on CBS Sports next Saturday, live at 2:30 Eastern Time. First down and 10. 14-3, under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Novacek starts in motion. The Cardinals go out of the shotgun. That pass caught, and then a pop delivered by Gary Reasons on J.T. Smith.
The best routes to throw where the quarterback can show his arm off and where it really puts a lot of pressure on a linebacker and a corner is a simple hook, and that's all Smith did. He went down, he beat the corner. The linebacker has to get into the flight of the ball and knock it down.
Cardinals go without a huddle, and the Giants try and get some defensive changes made. And then Hogeboom is sacked. Lawrence Taylor. That's his 10th sack of 1989.
One of the things that Lawrence Taylor is doing this year, he's not moving around right to left. He's staying on the right side a lot. Your left side, he comes inside of Louis Sharp, 67, the tackle. Just penetration, beats him, and then makes the sack. But the key is, Taylor's not moving around a lot, and a lot of teams say he does better now because he rushes better from Marshall's side.
Second down and 19. 2 minutes to go. Handoff out of the shotgun. It's by Sikahima, who was out near the 19-yard line. That'll be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning comes with 1:55 to go in the first half of play. 14-3, Giants lead. New York Giants took the opening kickoff and drove with ease the length of the field. Jeff Hostetler got the touchdown from 19 yards out. The second time they had the ball, Stephen Baker caught a pass, or the third time actually. 35-yard toss from Hostetler. Those are the 14 New York points, and Al Del Greco's field goal from 37, the Phoenix points.
Yeah, what the quarterback has to do here with 2 minutes left, even though it's third down, you must call 2 plays in the offense. If you get the first down, you're not wasting time. You have the second play call and anticipate a first down pass and be able to keep your offense on the field.
3rd and 13. Giants bring 3. Hogeboom. That's not going to be enough for the first down. Mark Collins defending. Don Holmes makes the catch, number 83, the third wide receiver. And it'll be 4th down, and Phoenix will have to punt.
That offensive route that Holmes ran tells me about the respect that these Cardinals have for the Giants. Notice that route was only a 5-yard route. And what Hogeboom was hoping was, I'll get the ball to my receiver, let him catch it at 5 yards, and hope he can run for the first down.
Timeout called by New York. (14-3), Giants lead it. They use one of their timeouts, and they will get the ball back with a minute 30 or so remaining in the first half. Rich Camarillo on to punt, and this is a bad one off the side of his foot. It goes right. A flag is down. It's picked up by Meggett, and he's back to the 44-yard line. I think somebody may have run off the field of play and come back on. Garth Jackson, number 53, made the tackle. Their Plan B acquisition from the Cowboys. Nope. A little extracurricular activity going on. Here's Howard Rowe.
Personal foul, number 29, 15-yard penalty on a return team. First down.
Myron Guyton, the strong safety on special teams. Phoenix, Arizona. It gets lonely up there.
An inflatable date.
Yeah.
I don't want to know that guy.
No, Raiders are leading as we get back to football. The Rams win 23-21.
Keep me away from him.
Oh dear. Atlanta won it when McFadden kicked a 50-yard field goal with no time left. And out of the shotgun, Jeff Hostetler, who scored one and thrown for one. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Lionel Manuel in front of Taylor.
Well, that's his favorite route, the inside route. He had his corner trailing him, and Manuel catches that pass, a good pass. One of the things that's very hard for a quarterback to do is to throw the in route from right to left as a right-handed quarterback, because you have a tendency to really gun it in there. Well, these guys are coming somewhat at you, and you have to take a little bit off. And if anything, Hostetler should take a little bit off that pass, make it easier to catch.
2nd and 10. Oh, could have been picked off. McDonald almost had his second.
It looked as though Hostetler tried to ease one in there. Now there's a difference between taking something off of it and letting it change your rhythm. Notice now, Hostetler sets up, going, he knows exactly where he's going, tries to just pull the ball down nice and easy, kind of guides it. It slips out of his hand. Very well could have been intercepted.
Jeff Hostetler now 9 of 18 for 152 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The touchdown was to Stephen Baker. Basic 4-man front by the Cardinals. They come with a stunt. Hostetler out of the sack, and here's what he can do that perhaps Phil Simms can't, and he's got the first down. He does it with a little more agility than Simms does.
Well, I have to question the defensive call, though, Verne, because all Hostetler is doing, once he breaks the seal of the line of scrimmage, there's no one there. That was a man coverage in 3rd and long situations. 99.9% of all teams in the National Football League will play zone in long situations. The reason you don't play man is, number one, if you're going against a quarterback that can run and he gets outside, there's no support to tackle him. Number two, if you complete the pass on man coverage, it's always for big yardage.
That was a gain of 17 on the ground and a first down for the Giants with 1:15 to go in the half. Ingram, the motion man. Stunts again. Hostetler scrambles again, and they got him.
Okay, they got him this time, but what was the coverage? It was zone. So when you're in zones, it takes receivers that can work and find the open area. In a man coverage, you don't find an open area. Your area is on you, and it's covering you.
New York.
Hostetler is slow getting up. Jeff Rutledge is active today. He was not Monday night.
See what he should do. He recognizes zone as you look at Rutledge. Recognize the zone. You don't have time. You're in the 2-minute offense. Just throw it out of bounds. But this man hasn't played a lot. Okay, now he says he's covered. He's covered. Just throw it away. You don't need to be getting hurt. Just throw it out of bounds.
Hostetler has gone over to the sidelines, talking with Bill Parcells. And Jeff Rutledge, who's not played this year, obviously, getting ready to come in.
Yeah, I guarantee you that what Parcells is telling him, look, if it's not there, and you know it's zone coverage, just throw that baby in the cheap seat. If it's man coverage, that's different. But if it's zone, you don't have your guy, get rid of it. You're all we got. We need you. Don't take a chance.
And Hostetler is not coming out of the game. A timeout was called by New York. And so he will be back in the lineup.
Yeah, but he's wanting to make something happen, isn't he? Hadn't played, wanting to show the world how great he is, and that over-anxious, that excitedness about this game makes you do crazy things.
1:09 to go in the half. Make it on the draw play. First down, New York at the 42. And they will go without a huddle. 18-yard gain by Dave Meggett. And we're under a minute. The Giants have 1 left, 1 timeout. Shotgun formation. Oates sends it back. Hostetler picked off, intercepted by McDonald for the 48. That's the 2nd pass interception in the first half for Tim McDonald, the 3rd-year man from Southern Cal. And Bill Parcells He is not pleased.
When you throw a ball, Verne, when you throw into the outside, let's watch Hostetler. Looking down, looking to the right, staying there, draws everyone to that area. The thing about it is the eyes bring in the people, and if you throw that pass, you have to be conscious of the inside coverage coming with you. If you're going to throw that route, throw it now. Don't hold it and then try to throw those inside routes.
Now suddenly the Cardinals with a chance to climb back in this. 42 seconds to go in the first half. And they have all 3 of their timeouts and the ball at the 47. Hogeboom gets a good block. Now throws it away. Almost picked off. That's a heck of an effort, and a flag is down at the 39-yard line. We may get a roughing call. We do on Lawrence Taylor. That will cost New York 15.
Personal foul. Number 56. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Of all the people you can't hit those quarterbacks. 56 is Taylor chasing Hogeboom. Understand the frustration of having to chase him. Number one, the ball is away, but the right hand like a hammer comes across the back or the neck of the quarterback Hogeboom. You can't do that. I don't care if you're Lawrence Taylor, who you are. You can't do it, bub. I'm sorry. You're going to give your team 15 yards every time.
Not much dispute about that. A hammer to the head. First down at the 38-yard line with 33 seconds to go in the half. Giants show a blitz look. They send 5. Hogeboom almost picked off. It is. Terry Kennard. No, he is down. At the 34-yard line now is an incomplete pass. And Kennard begins to argue his case.
Pass on the field. Ruled incomplete.
My. It looks like Kennard has the ball cradled. And the ball is sitting on his forearm so that when he hits the ground, it may appear as though he trapped it, but his forearm actually has the ball off the ground. First of all, the ball is thrown off the wrong foot by the quarterback, so therefore it's behind the receiver. Notice the ball wrapped in the forearm of Kennard. That looked to me, Verne, like a good interception, excellent interception, as a matter of fact.
All right, they, needless to say, are looking at the replay, and here is the point, Terry. Is there conclusive evidence to overrule the call?
Well, of course.
You think so?
Of course. No, of course that's the rule.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what I saw there, you would have to say that it appears as though it was a good interception, but I don't. Who's to say? You know, we saw it. We make that judgment. They've got the final say-so in this.
Well, the replay official is Royal Cathcart, and they're in an adjacent booth, and they're looking at it right now. We'll look at it as you do at home and see whether or not there might be conclusive evidence to overrule the call by the official. Take a look at it again as Terry Kennard goes down for the interception.
Okay, the ball is underthrown. Kennard comes in. Now, the ball is in the left arm, and it's sitting on top of the forearm, and it looks to me as though when Kennard hits the ground, the forearm protects the ball from hitting the ground. Therefore, to me, that's an interception, an excellent interception by Kennard.
I agree with you that it does look like an interception. My only question is whether Cathcart will find enough evidence there to overrule the judgment of the official.
Well, I can't argue with that. I mean, once again, matters not what I think or say or see. It matters what they see. And if it's inconclusive, then it'll be ruled incomplete.
The one thing about conclusive or inconclusive evidence, one can be certain it takes a long, long time to determine it. So we wait.
Well, this is an important series for the Cardinals. They need to maintain this ball to go down, and they've gotten the break on the interception themselves, and they need to get into this end zone. So it's very important for them.
Review. Play stands.
Well, that's obviously the point from Cathcart then. There was not conclusive evidence to overrule the decision. And quickly, they're back to play. Into the right side for J.T. Smith, and in the middle of the field, Don Holmes was waving his arms frantically. Smith in the corner and Holmes at the 10.
Yeah, the corner routes have been covered extremely well by the Giants. You know, hey, fool me once, fool me twice, whatever. But if you cover my corner routes 3 times in a row, you know, I'm going to come out and I'm going to say, forget these corner routes, baby. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to run deep ends. I'm going to run me a post route. I'm going to do something other than corner routes because hey, folks, they're not open. So let's get away from it and get on to something else.
Coming up at the half, Brandon Erb with all the scores, highlights, and latest information. And boy, there were some thrilling games today. I know you'll want to see the highlights of that Ram win over Minnesota and Green Bay's win over Chicago today. There were a lot more. J.T. Smith to the 30-yard line, and 14 seconds remain. Now the Cardinals do have all of their timeouts. That is not enough for the first down, though. And a player is down. I'm sorry. It happened to me the first time I was here last year. It just happened to Howard Rowe. He just got on the PA and announced that it was timeout St. Louis. In the meantime, there's an injured player down. J.T. Smith.
There's a catch by Smith, and all Smith is trying to do, he says, I'm going to go down, but then he slips. He slips the defensive back and is able to get on down the field a couple more yards, and it's going to be 4th down. But by ducking his head, he lose. You know, when you duck your head as an athlete, you lose all perspective, everything. You get disoriented, and therefore, when you lose your head, your balance goes off, and you're more susceptible to injuries. And to me, that's what happened to Smith. I don't think it's his hand. He's got a broken hand, but I don't think that's it at all.
J.T. Smith at the 30-yard line. And take a look at J.T., who's on the left-hand side of the screen now.
Okay, notice his head goes down. Now he comes back inside. You know, you'd have to say, well, his foot's caught up in the leg of Kennard, so it could be that he had a twist, you know, the knee, possibly an ankle.
This is at a spot where already Roy Green is out, though he may be back next week. But one of the fragile areas for the Cardinals is J.T. Smith is down. Here are the injuries. Of course, Neil Lomax is out for the year. Stump Mitchell out for the year. Green. Bostic is out for the year. McKenzie, Sean Knight, Bob Clasby, Steve Albert. All those have missed games so far this year.
Well, you know, of all the positions now, it's Smith at wide receiver already has a broken hand. And one of the problems with having Smith in there and leading the league in receptions is Ernie Jones and McConkey and Holmes really aren't getting the football. They are not getting the balance that the Giant wide receivers are getting. That's Roy Green. Says maybe next week he'll be back, has a broken collarbone. But with Smith out of the game, it could be that this would be better for the passing of the Cardinals, Verne, for the simple reason is, who do you double? You don't know who to double. You don't know anything about them.
That is Roy Green, who is on the field, waits for his teammate. Roy Green, about whom Gary Hogeboom said yesterday, he is the smartest football player I have ever met. And Green comes out to accompany J.T. Smith over to the sideline. J.T., who was on a pace to break Art Monk's single-season career receiving record. Smith came in with 60 today. Monk's record is 106. And by the way, I think I mentioned a Ram win over Minnesota. Highlights coming up at halftime. It'll be a Minnesota win over the Rams. 10 seconds to go on 4th down. Split backs. Whoa. Now, did they draw him offside and get the first down? I think they might have. Hogeboom thinks so.
Change in the cadence, Verne. Hogeboom changed his cadence up and caught the nose tackle. Caught the nose tackle, Howard off guard.
Encroachment, number 74, defense, first down.
Man, how many times do you see this where you get a beat on the quarterback's cadence? Notice the head of Hogeboom, a little bit of movement there, but you can bet he's been going on one, like set, ready, hut. Now he goes set, ready, hut. The ball's not snapped, and everybody says, oh my gosh, I got a read on him. They take off. Howard thought the ball was going to be snapped and got away from a basic rule.
So with 10,
look at the ball.
10 seconds to go, time for at least one before the field goal. Here's Hogeboom, left side, incomplete. Into double coverage with Guyton and Williams both back there.
Man, I got to disagree with this. You know, that stuff's not there. Down the middle, work the ball down the middle to the outside. You know, even if you go down the middle this close to the goal line, more than likely you're going to score. You're not going to have to rush your team out for a field goal try.
Del Greco will try the field goal. He is 13 of 14 for the year. His only miss came from 47 yards out. This will be a 42-yard effort and his second attempt of the day. Tom Tudor will hold the backup quarterback. No good. Al Del Greco misses for only the second time in 1989. And that also ends a streak of 10 consecutive field goals that would have given him a Cardinal record. And 1 second to go.
Yeah, you ought to be upset. You get all the breaks in the world, the possible interceptions negated, and you keep the ball, and then you get a good job by Hogeboom of getting Howard to jump offside. And look at Del, you bet he's mad because he had a chance there to close the gap. 14-6 when you go into the locker room. Number one, you've got momentum going with you, and you get to say, hey, we can play with these guys. We can beat these Giants.
Del Greco misses from 42, and the Giants will kill the remaining 1 second. And New York will go into the halftime with a 14-3 lead. That's the end of the first half with our score: the Giants 14 and Phoenix 3.
You got to hide the little children with Al Del Greco around. What's he so upset about, man?
Well, you know, the kicker's a little different anyway, you know that. But the holder muffed the kick, couldn't get the kick off. Had he made it, he had a chance to set a Cardinal record, and he just was upset because he missed it.
No fair to read lips, right? Only 4 first downs for the Cardinals, and it's 14-3 Giants. Now, before the game began, Phil Simms warming up. What a luxury not to have to play him today. And Jeff Hostetler, well, here he is, doing what he did last Monday night a couple of times, taking off on the run. And on that quarterback draw, he gets a touchdown out of it. And also, it's the touchdown man.
Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Great pass, but a pretty good route on Baker's part, too. A deep crossing pattern, 35-yard touchdown reception.
All right, in the second half, we'll keep an eye on the Philadelphia game for Giant fans. This one has gone to the half. The Eagles and the Chargers are tied at 7. Jim McMahon put the Chargers ahead. He went to Anthony Miller for a 7-yard touchdown. Great one-handed catch, and Miller into the end zone. And then Randall Cunningham coming back.
Eagles had a pretty nice drive. Was stalled inside the 4-yard line, but Randall rolls to his right and hits Greg Garrity for the 4-yard touchdown.
All right, now elsewhere in the AFC, at home, Denver, which was upset by Philly out there last week, leading Pittsburgh 13-7. And big day for Bo Jackson. He has scored 2 touchdowns, and he has rushed for 126 yards. One of his touchdowns was a 92-yarder. And, of course, those of you in New York well aware that the marathon was completed here earlier this morning, and the United States runners really did themselves proud. Finest finishes since 1982. Ken Martin's out of the University of Oregon, now lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. He winds up second. And incidentally, the winning time there by the Tanzanian runner is a New York City marathon record. Then Kim Jones, who now lives in Spokane, Washington, she wound up with second place. Irv, didn't you run a marathon in London a few years ago? What was your time in that one?
What do you do it to me? 4 hours and 58 minutes, okay? But I finished standing up.
Right?
Standing up.
All right, listen, a lot of wild games that we want to show you highlights, including in that will be the instant replay that decides the Green Bay Packers' victory over the Bears. And that's coming up right after these messages from your local stations.
Halftime in Phoenix, Arizona, where the Cardinals trail the New York Giants by a count of 14-3. Jeff Hostetler ran 19 yards for 1 touchdown. He threw 35 yards to Stephen Baker for the other. He, of course, is playing in place of the injured Phil Simms. And Terry said he thought the one thing he might bring to this team that Simms could not is mobility. That has been proven here in the first half.
Especially if you consider the fact that Simms has a bad ankle, but considering both of them healthy, absolutely. The one thing he says is, I give us the ability to run out of the pocket. Matter of fact, they put in a dash series just for Hostetler this week. That's where he takes the ball and comes out as a quarterback and throws, has a moving pocket. And today, what's he done well? He's thrown the ball well, but he's primarily hurt the Cardinals running with the football.
That began on the first series when he ran from 19 yards out. This was the opening series of the ball game, and here came the first touchdown of the ball game.
Anytime, notice Harvey, 56, was trying to come up and that time spy on Hostetler. That spy means simply he's going to cover him man for man. It is a man coverage, and quarterbacks never have responsibilities normally in man coverage, and so if he breaks the huddle and gets outside, there's no one there, and he can run as far as he can run till someone runs him down. Just had to go a few yards for the touchdown.
Well, having run for that touchdown, then in the second quarter, we saw another example. They had a 3rd and long, and all of a sudden Hostetler went back, scrambled, and picked up a first down. This came after he had thrown to Stephen Baker for a score.
Well, he's thrown the ball well, but once again, it's the scrambling. He sets up nicely, feels the pressure. Now, once he gets beyond the line of scrimmage, there's no support. In other words, no one there to cover him and tackle him, and it's a foot race. He gets to the outside and makes the first down.
Of course, what is the danger? The danger is that you expose yourself to injury, and that did happen right before halftime. I don't think it affected him to the extent he'll not be able to come back in, but he was hurt on this play.
Well, it was. He's back, sets up, is going to move again. And then as he makes that move, this coverage is now a zone coverage, and so therefore there are people there in the lanes to make the sacks. He gets trapped, gets his leg caught under him. It looks like he might have to go out of the game for a while, but he's all right.
At the halftime, rushing yardage, Hostetler with 35, and the Cardinals, the whole ensemble, 8 yards. Yards per reception, the Giants 17, and only 8 for the Cardinals. Total yards at the halftime break, 253 to 58. Raul Alegre will kick it off now, and by Sikahema and Tony Baker go deep for Phoenix. 14-3. Neil Lomax was a brief halftime visitor here in the booth. Of course, Neil out with that arthritic hip for the remainder of the year and perhaps for his career, but I know he was a little frustrated by what he had seen in the first half.
Well, he was throwing stuff all over our booth, flinging things all over the place.
More in jest than in anger, and accompanying the kick, fireworks explode up on the hill. Nice return, and the Cardinals are out to the 40-yard line. Return of 30 yards. Let's watch Renee Thompson, number 21 from Baylor, one of the standouts on special teams.
Well, he's extremely upset. To the outside, he's one of the quick people, the man down the field to force the return one there, knowing he gets back inside, tries to get in his lane, and then comes back inside and makes the hit. Not a job I'd want to have. Not the most fun.
Renee Thompson, number 21, first down and 10 Phoenix. They trail 14-3, and they have the ball with a quick opener up the middle. It goes to Vi Sikahema. Young man who was born in Samoa but grew up in the Phoenix area, and then of course played his collegiate football at Brigham Young University.
The thing you like about having him in your backfield is that Sikahema gives you the balance in an offense to where not only do you throw the ball, run him with the football, but he is outstanding pass receiver out of the backfield.
2nd and 4, reverse is faked. Sikahema first down at the 39. Lawrence Taylor caught up with him, a gain of 15 yards. And the Cardinals open up featuring Vi Sikahema, the one-time 10th round draft choice out of Brigham Young.
Well, why not? Why hold back? Reverses, maybe try something fancy. You try the passes off of it, now come back and try reverses off of it. Slows everyone down.
Showing a proclivity for running on first down and 10. See if they do here. Awald starts in motion. Woods threatened by the Giants. There's the run. And the tackle. Carl Banks up on top.
One of the ways, Verne, that you run or attack a 3-4 because of 4 linebackers, and believe you me, the linebackers of the Giants are as big as most people's linemen. These guys are big. But the one place you want to attack is you want to go up the middle at them. You don't want to go away wide because they're so fast and have great pursuit. But one way you can run wide is by reverses, and that's what Sikahema did to play before the last.
Quick count on 2nd and 8. Across the middle, caught, dropped. Mark Collins was covering. Don Holmes, number 83, couldn't hang on to it. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. J.T. Smith, of course, went out with an injury late in the first half, joining Roy Green, who was already in civvies. So Holmes and Ernie Jones are the wide receivers now, and the third man is Phil McConkey, the former New York Giant, who was released at the beginning of the year and signed when Roy Green was injured. Third and 8. Kennard snaps it back. Hogeboom. Man open. Ernie Jones, first and goal. Mark Collins defending.
It all starts with pass protection. You got to have time to throw. Who do you care? Who do you concern yourself with? This man, 56. You say to yourself, Wolf, do the job on him. Kennard, help us out. Well, there he is, flattened on his back. And then you come outside and you throw a crossing route to Ernie Jones. One good thing, if there is a good thing about having your key receivers out, the defense does not know who to double.
Quick count. Sikahema goes left. And a good lateral pursuit by the Giants. He's down at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I don't think that going wide against the Giants is the thing to do. This is a team that the Cardinals at best goes up the middle. Go up the middle. If you go wide, you better really have a burner. I don't think Sikahema has the speed to really get out wide.
Are you saying that's a problem with the Giants specifically?
Exactly. That's the problem the Giants cause you. Their linebackers are big and they can run. I just don't think going outside is a place to attack them.
15.
Quarterback draw, Hogeboom. Boom, touchdown. Borrowing the page from the Jeff Hostetler playbook. As the Giants scored on a quarterback draw in the first series, Hogeboom gets one.
Now you know why Del Greco was so upset at halftime, because if the extra point is made, we would have had a 1-point game.
Del Greco, who missed that 42-yard field goal, will try the extra point here. Tupa gets the ball down. The kick is up and good. And Gary Hogeboom, who had averaged 2.5 yards per carry, with a nifty move at about the 3.
This is a run all the way. A 3-step drop to show pass, get the linebackers out, and the good thing for Hogeboom was that the Giants were in a zone, which means their linebackers would show pass set, gave him the chance to get inside.
Gary Hogeboom's touchdown run on the quarterback draw has brought the Cardinals to within 4 at 14-10. 12:07 to go, third quarter. It was 14-3 at the halftime break. And Al Del Greco will kick it off as you view it from the Fuji blimp flying overhead Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. With Meggett and Ingram, the deep men for the Giants. Ingram to the 27-yard line, and Jeff Hostetler will come back on following that 28-yard return. Giants at 7-1, of course, the best start since 1930, when they wound up with a 10-1 record. And Hostetler comes on 9 of 19 thus far for 152 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Giants will stay on the West Coast, or in the West this week. They'll actually stay in Scottsdale, and then they go to LA to take on the Rams next week. First and 10, New York. Anderson, foot race. He does not have great speed. And Cedric Mack had the angle and knocks him out of bounds at the 43. With help from Ken Harvey, number 56. But nevertheless, a 31-yard gain.
How many times do you see a back go up inside, everyone gets inside, everybody gets all lost, where's the ball, I can't find the ball, and then you expect to be tackled. Anderson said, I'm going to get tackled, nobody tackles me, he bounces outside, there's no one there, now it's the foot race. Cedric Mack, notice he came up kind of nonchalant, thinking that Anderson was down, and then whoop, out of the pack comes Anderson.
First down and 10, Giants. Odessa Turner in motion, quick toss. Otis Anderson caught for a loss. Anthony Bell, number 55. The 4-year man who was a #1 draft choice out of Michigan State.
Yeah, he said the hardest thing to do was to take on the tight end, his #1 responsibility. Then he said I had to use my hands, then I have to use my eyes, and then I have to react. I got to do 4 responsibilities. Whereas if I was in the 3-4 back on stacked on the inside, I don't have to do all that. Much harder to play outside linebacker now for him than as opposed to the 3-4.
Rousson and Tillman come into the Giant lineup. You look at Bell. Just a footnote on that Cincinnati Raider game. Boomer Esiason is out of that game with a bruised lung. Second down. Reverse. Once again, when they're across the 50, it's the 3rd time they've tried a trick play or a gadget play, and Lee Rousson gets it inside the 40 near the 38. Tim McDonald. They obviously, in scouting and preparing for this game, have seen a very, very aggressive Phoenix defense.
And another thing against 4-3 defenses, Verne, when you do a lot of play action and spin around and hand off and counteract, the middle linebacker's going hook right, hook left. He gets tangled up with all the motion and loses sight of where the ball is, and that's what's happening. Eric Hill's looking at all of this, this configuration going around, and is losing sight of where the football is.
3rd down and 6. Giants are 7 of 10 on 3rd down conversions. They are now 8 of 11 as Odessa Turner makes the grab. After Turner's 4th catch, first down New York at the 31-yard line to the 30-yard line. And the injury woes continue to mount for the Cardinals. J.T. Smith still in the locker room, getting an X-ray. No report yet. There's Connie Kawhi, who was the center until Derek Kennard came back to the team this week. First down and 10, New York. Anderson slips a tackle. Cuts left, gets to the 25. And a couple of further injury notes for the Cardinals. Ron Wolfley is out with a groin, may not be back, and Louise Sharp is also on the bench with a knee sprain and may not be back.
Well, there you just hit the key. That's the real key when it goes Sharp. Today, his responsibility has been primarily to block Lawrence Taylor. No help at all. We saw Kennard come out once and help him, but for the most part, Sharp has been handling Taylor all by himself.
2nd and 5, 14 to 10, Giants lead. Early moments, 3rd quarter. Lewis Tillman. Another first down for the New York Giants, this time at the 15-yard line.
With Bavaro out, notice that Rousson comes inside. Now he kicks in. There's a move, and then there's the run. Remember, we're talking about there's a tight end here and a tight end there. There are 3 tight ends, but since Bavaro is injured, the backs are now the lead backs. Notice that is Rousson, 22. Normally, that would be the 3rd tight end.
To the Southwest Police Station, please.
Tillman with 7 carries for 32 yards. 8:10 to go, 3rd quarter, 14 to 10, Giants lead. Carthen, the motion man. Tillman dragged down short of the first down.
Tillman carries
At 12, there's J.T. Smith, 34 years of age last week, and they're looking at the X-rays.
Now, let's take a look ourselves. What do you see there, Verne?
I haven't seen enough of them to understand, but how about you?
Well, looks like, well, could be a little problem there with the medial.
Right. I knew you'd edify.
You bet. I got that maybe worked out, don't I?
2nd down and 7. Tillman again, left guard. William Roberts opening the hole for Lewis Tillman.
Well, 2 finer guards in the National Football League. Where are they? You're talking about William Roberts and Eric Moore, and the success of the running game now is in between the guards and not outside between the tackles. It's inside going over William Roberts, and that's the place where the Giants are attacking.
This will be the 9th play of the drive as they hold on to a 4-point lead. They've already gone 65 yards. And they have chewed up better than 5 minutes. 3rd and 2. Tillman. 1st and goal. Tim McDonald with the tackle. And the Giants now 9 of 12 on 3rd down conversions.
No one is happier than offensive linemen when they are able to run the football, control the clock, and then give to backs like Tillman. And when you run the football, you demonstrate power, authority, and that has a really a strong message that's sent out to the defense that, hey, we can't stop these guys. What we got? Then all of a sudden you're burying your head, you're going in there trying to penetrate, and then out of the pack comes the quarterback with a play action, and you're caught dead.
Brian Williams in as part of the goal line offense now. Play fake, Hostetler on the quarterback rollout, gets a block and a touchdown. Brian Williams, number 59, was the man on the left side who convoyed Hostetler in.
Run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle. Now play action up the middle. Everyone comes inside. Get 59 leading outside. Good job by Moat out there. Says, here I am, get in behind me. He actually seals off the inside and doesn't even realize it as Hostetler gets outside, uses his speed, and scores.
So the Giants answer in a most impressive manner. And they have increased the lead to 20-10 now with a leg raise extra point to come. That extra point is no good. So after hitting 20 in a row, Bill Parcells has to look into the sun and squint at Raul Alegre, who will now come over and try and explain this. And the holder, Jeff Hostetler. Watch this.
Good set. Looks like a little bit too fat or something. Look at it.
Watch Jeff Hostetler with Brian Williams, the #1 draft choice, leading the way around the left side. And Hostetler has run for 2 today and thrown for 1. .5:55 to go, 3rd quarter. And the kickoff from Alegre taken by Sikahema in the end zone. And flags are down. Phil McConkey it was instead of Sikahema, as the former Giant was back to return the punt. There's Phil McConkey. And it'll be a penalty against the Cardinals.
One of those clipping illegal blocks in the back.
McConkey.
Return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Robert Awald is guilty of that call. Shots from overhead. The Fuji blimp being piloted today by Greg Plants. Greg, an ex-Navy man who traded sea duty for airships, just like Phil McConkey, as a matter of fact. And the pictures being taken by Bob Michelson. We are at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Verne Lundquist, Terry Bradshaw. 5:45 to go, 3rd quarter, and a 20-10 Giant lead. Awald starts in motion. And off at left guard after the 10-yard line.
Key drive for the Cardinals, Verne. Let's set this thing straight. The last drive by the Giants, we'll find out what effect it is going to have on these Cardinals. Cardinals go down and score, tighten this game up, a touchdown, man, and they've got the lead. And then the Giants answer by going all the way down the field and scoring. So now you got to say to yourself, what's the effect? Will the Cardinals now respond and be able to go 90 yards themselves?
2nd down and 8. Cover 2 defense. That's 2 deep zones. And that pass knocked down and caught on a rebound as Hogeboom fired it to the right.
You know, we're not seeing the Cardinals attack the middle at all against the Giant zone. And one of the things the Cardinals wanted to do against the 2 deep zone of the Giants was to get their tight end, Awald, down the middle. Awald said that to my rookie year, I made a reputation for being the guy that would split the seam down the middle, and then Lomax would hit me with the football. But we've gotten away from that. And today, once again, said earlier, it's important that Awald get down the middle and attack the middle of this Giant zone. But we have not seen Hogeboom do that one time.
3rd and 4. See if Giants change their defense. Overload the right side. That pass Fade pattern left side, incomplete, intended for Jay Novacek, the backup tight end.
Yeah, fade routes with tight ends being covered by defensive backs, that won't work. If you're going to run fade routes, get your quickest receivers, because evidently the Giants think enough of Novacek's speed to put a cornerback on him. Adrian White covered him like a blanket. Poor decision. Poor call, I think.
Well, you're not enamored of the entire offensive scheme you've seen the Cardinals display.
I'm not going to send off for this reel of tape, I'll tell you that.
Dave Meggett back to return the punt now. Rich Camarillo.
Woo.
Nice one. Meggett, 35. Oh, nifty move. And then dragged down as he gets to the 44-yard line by Eric Hill, the middle linebacker. 4:05 remaining in the third quarter. It's 20-10, Giants lead. 4:05 to go, third quarter. Giants lead at 20-10 after that last long touchdown drive. And Jeff Hostetler diving into the left-hand corner, his second rushing touchdown of the day, and he has thrown for one. All of this in place of the injured Phil Simms. First down and 10. Hand off of the right guard. Philadelphia, of course, also playing here on the West Coast, and they came in today trailing the Giants. How are they doing against San Diego? Here's Brent.
Verne, it is 3rd and goal for the San Diego Chargers, and Jim McMahon, he comes up passing and throws incomplete. Chargers settle for a field goal, and they lead the Eagles by 3. 10-7 is the score. Let's go back to Verne.
All right, Brent, boy, if that holds up, that would be a gift for the Giants that they had not expected. A Philadelphia defeat to San Diego. Of course, they're in the third quarter and a lot of time left in that one, just as there is here. 3:25 to go, third quarter here in Phoenix. Anderson, who had a 31-yarder in the last drive. That is close for first down yardage at the 45.
You know, important for the offensive line of the Giants. This is getting into the second half. Shadows are starting to show up, and the running game has become the real #1 weapon that the Giants are using. And we talked about the heat, but I noticed that Bart Oates, and I couldn't help but recall that he said he had to put on more weight because he was the smallest guy in the offensive line because of their running game. We're running the ball more than we've ever done, and since my metabolism has slowed down, I can now put weight on. I used to couldn't do it. He's 15 pounds heavier, and he needs it today.
Giants have gone more than 70 on each of their 3 drives, and they've used 27 plays to do it. There's the toss to Anderson, who cuts back inside on the 1st and 10 play and gets down to the 41-yard line. Anthony Bell and Carl Wilson, number 90, make the tackle. Anderson's 19th carry. It's been a long time, Terry, since he carried. To forget making this many yards, just this many carries.
Yeah, but he said that he's gotten used to it now. It doesn't, you know, it's not like it's something he has to adjust to. He said, I'm used to running the load, carrying the ball, 20, 25 times a game. It's not a problem with me.
Once the #1 draft choice of this franchise, and then picked up by the Giants. Second down. Hostetler, Lewis Tillman, 40-yard line, and David Galloway makes the tackle for the Phoenix Cardinals.
Nothing fancy with this running game. You'll notice, well, you won't notice, is the Giants very seldom pull guards and tackles. Very seldom. Maybe twice, maybe 3 times in a game. But the running they're getting today, Verne, is just by snapping the ball and having each lineman fire off, get in someone's face, and then let the back find the seams that created by the lineman drive blocking and then break open.
Third down, Hostetler in the shotgun.
Man coverage.
3rd and 6. The Giants are 9 of 12 on third downs. And he's got room for another one. Easily done.
Man coverage. One of the keys and simple keys a quarterback looks at to find out whether or not it's man or zone is look at the technique used by the cornerbacks. If indeed the cornerbacks are squared up on their receiver, it's man coverage. Hostetler knows this, so now he knows that if I get out and I'm running, there's no one out there to contain me, and I can run for the first down. Notice, do you see anybody, folks? I don't see a soul. There he is, first down.
And that shot taken from a blimp overhead. And here is Hostetler who's had an uneasy relationship with Bill Parcells since he came to the club. First down and 10. The toss left, and that play stuffed in the backfield. Otis Anderson knocked down by Tim McDonald, who was blitzing on the run play.
John Elliott, the left tackle, it looks like the Anderson tripped over Elliott's block, but Elliott did an outstanding job because his man came to the outside deep and wide, and Elliott had to pull out and push him deep, and Anderson was too deep to cut back underneath Elliott's block. It looks as though Elliott messed up, but Elliott didn't. It's just that Anderson was too deep and too late to cut in behind his block.
Second down and 12. 20-10 is the score. Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Down near the 30-yard line, Freddie Joe Nunn, number 78, with the tackle. And that could well be the final play of the third quarter. Bill Parcells' team is up by 10, and we have finished 3. That's the end of the third quarter with our score. The New York Giants 20, Gene Stallings and the Phoenix Cardinals 10. Moon is out in the azure blue skies over Phoenix, Arizona on this late Sunday afternoon in November. The crowd estimated to be around 48,000 watching the New York Giants and the Phoenix Cardinals. The Giants have led throughout, and they have a 20-10 lead as we begin the final 15 minutes. Verne Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw. Third down, and out of the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. That is Odessa Turner in motion.
Man coverage.
No blitz, pass right side, incomplete. It'll be fourth down. Dave Meggett, who has become a third down specialist out of the backfield, can't quite hang on to this. The rookie out of Towson State. And Hostetler, who is now 10 of 21, told us yesterday, Terry, that one of the things he most needed just because of his personality is a word of appreciation, a pat on the back. And he said that he had heard you say once that 5 years of your career went by the wayside and you had a stormy relationship with Chuck Noll. He feels that same way about his relationship with Bill Parcells. 47-yard field goal for Allegre now. Hostetler to hold it. No, sir. Wide left. Parcells' team still leads, but only by 10. We'll return after this message from your local station. First down and 10. Hogeboom, deep left side. Holmes is forced out of bounds and back in. The pass is incomplete. Incomplete. Holmes out of bounds, then back in and battles with Perry Williams.
Williams just gets on Holmes' hip. Now, when he sees Williams turn around and look back, like a smart cornerback, he turns around too because the receiver tells him the ball is about to get there. Now, Williams has the interception, right foot, left foot, but before he gets down, he drops the ball.
Perry Williams, the defender, and good coverage on Don Holmes. By the way, J.T. Smith is out for the remainder of the game with an ankle injury. That is the most we can tell you. We do not know how severe. They'll try it again into double coverage with Kennard and Williams back. And a flag is also down behind the line.
Well, the flag's not that important to a guy named Awalt because he comes across the middle and is wide open for a touchdown. But once again, the Cardinals will not throw the football down the middle. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because Hogeboom threw 4 interceptions the last time. And if you have a lot of interceptions, normally you get them in the middle.
Personal foul. Defense, number 58. Unnecessary roughness. 15 yards, first down.
Rather obviously, Carl Banks disagrees with the flag.
Yeah, but why not throw the ball in the middle, Verne? That's the point. If you go outside and they're taking it away, don't be stupid. Go ahead and play smart football, and that's not there, so change it.
You think it has more to do with the interceptions than anything else?
Well, that's my guess now. You know, after figuring all this out, or trying to.
That handoff goes up the middle.
You know, you get a lot of interceptions when you throw over the middle. You can't see the blind side a lot of time. It does draw a crowd, and Hogeboom might not feel comfortable throwing the football over the middle. When you throw to the outside and deep, you see things, and you know that if it bounces, it's going to normally bounce out of bounds anyway, so it's a much safer pass throwing outside.
Awald in the wing to the right side. Now starts in motion. And goes back. And the play has changed on second down. Hogeboom. Stripped to the ball. They'll scramble for it. And the Cardinals get it, but they lose yardage all the way back to the 34-yard line. And Carl Banks was right in the middle of all that.
Well, Banks obviously has got a new fire lit under him. He'll come from the left of your screen. Hogeboom sets up. It's a good little pocket, but Banks comes from the outside, and thank goodness that Sikahema is there to be able to run it down and recover it for the Cardinals.
That sets up a 3rd and 20 from the 35-yard line. 20-10 with 13:15 to go in the ball game. Full-man rush by the Giants, and Hogeboom dodges one, can't dodge another. Down at the 35, it'll be 4th down, and Don Holmes this time is the lone man in white by himself in the middle of the field. Just to reinforce your point.
Exactly. The Giants know now that the book on Hogeboom is he's not going to throw it deep over the middle, so we're not going to worry about it. We'll take everyone and cover everyone to the outside and forget about the middle.
Taylor sits down with the sack, and on 4th down, Camarillo will punt. Make it. Fair catch at the 27-yard line. 12 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the ball game. Tempe, Arizona, the Giants up by 10 at 20-10. Giants lead it by a 20-10 count. They have overrun the Cardinals offensively, and the big key for New York has been their ability to convert 3rd downs at 10 of 14. The Cardinals, in the meantime, just 1 of 9. And what a nice day it is for Jeff Hostetler, getting the most extensive action he's had in almost 6 years, except for that game last year when Monday night, obviously this year, and then the game last year against New Orleans. But he's got to feel very happy about the way things have gone.
Well, he's done well, and you saw the 3rd down conversions, and what that means is that if you convert 3rd downs, you keep the ball for another 3 plays, and he's just done this repeatedly, time and time again today. Excellent job.
1st and 10. Odessa Turner comes right. Otis Anderson, who's picked up 75 yards, gets 1 more. How are the Eagles in San Diego doing? Well, last time we checked, the Eagles were trailing. Let's check in again with Brent.
Verne, they are still trailing, and a little daylight now as Jim McMahon lights up that Eagle defense. This, the 69-yard touchdown pass to the one-time Tennessee star, Anthony Miller. And now it is 17-7. They go to the 4th quarter, and we go back to Verne.
Well, that is really interesting, Brent, because Philadelphia, of course, came in trailing the Giants by 1. And I think the Giants expected to win here today, but I don't think they counted on Philadelphia losing to San Diego. Hostetler finds Otis Anderson, and he gets away from the Dave Galloway tackle and is down at the 35-yard line. Carl Wilson and Eric Hill finally catch up with him. As we said, the Giants, of course, beginning a long series of games on the West Coast. They will stay on the West Coast, but they will change hotels. They are staying in a very nice place in South Phoenix. And Bill Parcells said, I don't want them to get the idea they're staying in a resort, so we're changing hotels tonight. Eric Moore is out. Brian Williams comes in. And another Cardinal is also limping off. Looks like it's Dave Galloway. And they are down now. They only had 5 defensive linemen suited up for this game. Bob Bukowski is their 5th. And this unbelievable string of injuries apparently will continue now for the Cardinals.
And you see all these injuries, Verne, and then you understand why Bill Parcells looks across the field and said that that guy, Gene Stallings, should be voted Coach of the Year. He has done an outstanding job, and Parcells doesn't think people really understand and appreciate Stallings and the coaching job he's did with a team like the Cardinals.
3rd down and 3, 4 wide receiver set. Out of the shotgun, they hand it off, and they do not get the first down. It's Dave Meggett. Go back to the well on that play, and Tim McDonald was there to make the tackle.
Well, that's the second time we've seen that little play in 3rd down where you hand it off to the running back, but this time the Cardinals were sitting there waiting. It's one of those classic examples of those plays work once, but the 2nd and 3rd time, normally they don't. People just get up for them, understand that, hey, this is what they did to really surprise us. It won't happen again.
Sikahema is averaging nearly 12 yards per return. He's a Pro Bowl returner. Landeta and the Giants lead the league in net punt return, and this one will not be returned. And guess who's down there again? Renee Thompson, number 21. He spent the season in the vicinity of punts. A flag is down back at the 35-yard line. Go back to try it again. I'm sure the Cardinals will accept this penalty. Gene Stallings.
Illegal substitution, offense, 5-yard penalty, re-kick, 4th down.
What does a coach do in the afternoon before a game, trying to spend time to relax? Well, Bill Parcells spent time talking with us. Gene Stallings, in the meantime, took his 2-year-old grandson to the zoo.
He told me that he appreciates and understands now me with my 2-year-old daughter. In other words, that grandson about drove him crazy.
Here's Landeta's punt. Sikahema driven all the way back to the 11. But now a little bit of room. Foot race to the 31. Nice return. And Pepper Johnson makes the tackle. A 58-yard punt by Sean Landeta. 21 on the return by Sikahema. And there's a picture postcard. 20-10, Giants lead it. Cardinals have the ball. We've got exactly 10 minutes remaining in the game, and another injured Cardinal, Tony Baker, number 44, joins that list, and Dave Galloway behind him just limped off. We do not have injury reports on either one of them. You can see that Baker has a bag of ice on his left ankle. Here's Hogeboom, who's 9 of 21 for 88 yards, no interceptions, but very modest numbers. They'll try the reverse to Ernie Jones. Hogeboom leads the way and gets a good block on Carl Banks. And here comes Jones. And what a block Hogeboom threw on a linebacker.
We said the way for there are a lot of ways to run outside, but we also said that we didn't think the Cardinals had the speed to run outside, but the way to do it was with reverses. Sikahema takes the ball, and now he hands it back to a receiver coming back across a reverse, and now a beautiful job. Look at the job that Hogeboom did on Carl Banks. Now a great job of running by Jones.
First down and 10, back to the play, and Sikahema is knocked down as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. Eric Howard, number 74, makes the tackle. Next Saturday on CBS, college football action as the 7th-ranked Miami Hurricanes battle 14th-ranked Pitt, or some of you will see Air Force take on Brigham Young live at 2:30 Eastern Time next week.
You bet. That's old Alex Van Pelt, fine young quarterback. But he wasn't even planning on playing. Curvin Richards, running back Pitt. Hey, ought to be exciting.
I hope it's either of those games is nearly as good as that Nebraska-Colorado game yesterday. And congratulations to Colorado Buffaloes. Second down, Hogeboom, short drop, right side, nobody open, pass overthrow. That looked ugly.
Just exactly what I was.
That was really ugly.
That was a 2-man pattern. Now let me explain something about 2-man patterns. That means there was a guy short and a guy deep. One of the reasons we haven't seen the 3-man pattern is because Hogeboom known to do really well when he has 1 receiver, 2 receiver, but when he has to go to a 3rd receiver, that's when he throws his interceptions. And the patterns today against a very, very good defense has been 2 patterns, 2 guys out running, and I'm telling you, that just won't work. Once again, still nothing down the middle.
Hogeboom said yesterday, we must do well on third downs. They have been awful. They're 1 of 10. And they've got a 3rd and 10 right here. Comes Adrian White. That pass will be dropped by Kennard. Flag is down. We may have roughed the quarterback. White was coming at Hogeboom and may have gotten him after the pass was released. And Kennard dropped a sure interception.
Personal foul. Number 36, defense, blow to the head, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, you hate this. You hate third downs when you should have had an interception, and now you give the ball back to the offense. Hogeboom, nothing there, nothing to the left. Moves out. Donald Holm comes open, and once again, there's Adrian White coming in, but the right hand coming out and hitting the quarterback Hogeboom in the head is an automatic penalty. Nothing you can do about it. Even though he didn't want to do it, the hand comes up and hits the quarterback in the head. That's 15 yards.
And a first down at the 36-yard line with 8:57 still to go in the ball game. And another reverse. This one is faked. And Sikahema wiggles his way down to the 25-yard line. They fake the reverse to Ernie Jones this time, and Sikahema picks up a quick 11 yards.
You know, you have options when you do reverses. You know, Sikahema could have handed that ball off. That doesn't mean just because you run reverses that you have to hand the ball off if you're the first one to handle it. You can keep it. Sikahema that side said, hey, I don't see anything over there. Forget it to Holmes. I'm keeping this baby myself.
Sikahema with 8 carries for 43 yards. First and 10. 2 deep zone again for the Giants. See what Hogeboom does with this. Hands it off to Earl Farrell over right guard after the fake pitch. And it's a gain to the 21.
By what I've seen so far, Verne, I would have to say that Hogeboom does not have the freedom to audible. He does not have the freedom to audible because I know that he is looking and seeing that cover too, and I know that he knows the place to attack it is with play action with a back coming out or with a tight end down the middle.
Why would he not have the freedom? Any guess?
I just think that's the system. That's the way the scheme is set up.
Second and 6, 20 to 10, Giants lead, and they have led throughout. Jones in motion, and Hogeboom steps up in the pocket, now dances right. Drills it right, dropped at the 20-yard line by Jay Novacek, his tight end. And again, a big third down. Gary looks over at the sideline. The plays, by the way, are wagged in. Or signaled in with numbers.
You know, that Jim Schaffner, the guy that Hogeboom was under at Dallas, Hogeboom knows this offense. That's one of the reasons he came to the Cardinals, with the fact that he knows this system. He knows Gene Stallings very well, so I would be surprised that he does not know the audibles.
Third and 6. Hogeboom, Novacek. First and goal, Cardinals at the 5. Adrian White knocks him out of bounds. It's the second consecutive third down conversion for the Cardinals in this drive, something they've been lacking throughout the afternoon.
Well, Scott Dale's doing a fine job replacing Louis Sharp, and as a quarterback, when you have a Lawrence Taylor to your left, your blind side as a right-handed quarterback, and you lose your all-pro tackle and you bring in a youngster like Dill, you would think that Hogeboom might be a little nervous, but Dill is doing a heck of a job.
Scott Dill, number 74. Goal line offense is in, and the defense for the Giants, and a flag flies.
Oh, we bragged on Dill, and he got caught.
There's Scott Dill, second-year man from Memphis State. And across the Cardinals 5.
False start, offense, number 74, 5-yard penalty, first down.
This is just a mistake. Dill just not concentrating. In the right of your screen, number 7, there the movement. See the movement by the right hand?
And the penalties thus far, the Giants, who were penalized 9 times Monday night, 7 today. The Cardinals, who had 60 penalties coming in, only 5 today, but this one might have really hurt them. They try the fullback, and Farrell gets back to the line of scrimmage, period, runs into Leonard Marshall. Earl Farrell.
Heck of a hit by Pepper Johnson, 52, with Taylor coming up to the outside and Pepper filling so quickly. And he always believes this, and this is his saying, is that in big games, in crucial situations, technique takes over. In other words, proper sets, feet square, hit, make the right blow, don't get caught out. Technique is the key.
2nd and goal. Cardinals trail by 10. Full-man rush by the Giants. And guess who? That is the 4th sack of Hogeboom today.
Don't you get the impression that when Lawrence Taylor wants to rush, when Lawrence Taylor wants to come inside and make the sack, he can do it. He has his mind made up that he's going to get to Hogeboom, and folks, he gets to Hogeboom. I got to believe that anytime he wants to, he can do it.
That is the 2nd sack for Lawrence Taylor and gives him 11 for the year. 3rd and goal, this time from the 19.
Blitz.
Flag is down. So is Hogeboom. It's Mark Collins who came on the corner blitz. Adrian White mixes it up again.
Illegal use of hands. Number 63 offense. Decline. 4th down.
Penalty called on Tootie Robbins. And that means Al Del Greco will kick one from 45 yards out to try and cut the margin to 7. 46 officially. Del Greco, who was 1 for 2 today, but missed his last one and missed it badly. Other than that, he's had a terrific year. And now what?
Parcells is hollering.
Unless it's a problem with the clock of some sort.
It's either a problem with the clock or a problem with reporting, or it's the mark.
Yeah, I've read some lips and saw 25 seconds there about something. Clock now shows 6:05 to go, and there's the 45-second clock or the 30-second clock after.
Clock operator, please run off 5 seconds on a field clock. Run off 5 seconds. Thank you.
Wake up. So Parcells won the argument, and Al Del Greco will kick it from 46 yards away. That one is perfect. 5:43 to go in the ball game. Cardinals climb back to within 7. It's 20-13. 5:43 to go as the haze settles in over the Valley of the Sun in Phoenix and Tempe, Arizona. The Cardinals now within 7, 20-13, and Al Del Greco, who just kicked that 46-yard field goal, will head back on out. The Cardinal team that fell behind 14-3 at the half came back to make it 14-10. The Giants countered with a touchdown but missed the extra point. And Mendel Greco has just kicked his second field goal of the ball game. It's 20-13. By the way, an update. Philadelphia and San Diego, 17-17. Fourth quarter. Dave Meggett. And he wiggles his way out to the 28-yard line. 19 yards on the return. As you look down from the Fuji blimp, let's bring you up to date. Keith Byers scored from 3 yards out with 10 minutes to go to tie up the Philadelphia-San Diego encounter. Denver leads Pittsburgh 27-7 at Mile High Stadium, and the Raiders over Cincinnati. Again, Boomer Esiason not in that game, and now we'll just roll through these. Minnesota wins on a blocked punt for a safety in overtime, and Atlanta wins with McFadden's field goal, 2 seconds to go. 20-13. Giants try to go 8-1 and open the second half of the season. Otis Anderson in jail and nailed Bob Bukowski, who's playing in the place of Dave Galloway, helped make the tackle. Miami over Indianapolis by 6. Sammy Smith with over a 100-yard game. And the Jets win as Ken O'Brien has a big day. Cleveland outlast Tampa Bay 42-31. And Houston over Detroit 35-31. Kansas City, Christian Okoye continues to have a terrific season. Second down and 9. Under 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Odessa Turner in motion. Hostetler finds him in the right flat. It's a one-on-one situation. Cedric Mack does get some help, but that's good for a first down as Eric Hill flies out.
Yeah, one of the things Cedric Mack said about receivers like Turner, he said big receivers like Turner will make the tough catch. They'll make the hard catch, big, strong guys. Little receivers will run quicker and better routes. And he said once a big guy like Turner makes the catch, you don't aim at them, you go perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, therefore you can make the tackle. If you come in and you shoot after him at an angle and miss it, it's a touchdown. Good technique by Cedric Mack, just stayed there, and when Turner made his move, he went straight at him.
Big day for Odessa Turner. 5 catches now to lead all receivers for the New York Giants. And more importantly, time on the clock for the Giants. Otis Anderson knocked down at the 41. It'll be 2nd and 9, 4:10 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, this is like OU, Nebraska type football. This is just 2 tight ends with a back motioning. And what you have when you do this is a power. This is a power set. Man, you got every big guy in there, and you're trying to win a football game on the road. It was hot in the first half. It's cooling off now in the second, which is a surprise, but the shadows are out there. And, man, it looks like everybody's fresh. And the Giants are saying, we're coming right at you. One thing I know, if they're in 2 tight end set, I don't have to worry about them going wide. Power football is between the tackles.
Giants with 200 yards rushing today. Hostetler has 47, Tillman 45, and Anderson 79. And this is Otis Anderson going left. And just to go back to the point that Terry made, if he's going to get wide, he's going to get wide left because of a pulled groin that's bothered him all of the year. Here's Ken Harvey, number 56, second-year man from Cal.
Gene Stallings loves this guy. He loves all his linebackers. He thinks he's got the nucleus of an outstanding linebacker. Look at Harvey. Harvey on the outside, Bell on the other side, and the young rookie Eric Hill in the middle.
Giants superb on 3rd down conversions today. They are 10 of 15. And right now they have a 3rd and 7 with 2:45 to go in the ballgame.
Do you jump into man coverage with the threat of Hostetler's running, or do you play it safe and get into zones? Blitz.
Hostetler incomplete. Contact, no flag. Hostetler thought he might get an interference call on Taylor, number 27.
Michael Zordich, free safety, 38. The gamble by the Cardinals, they have been burned twice, remember. Once on the run by Hostetler, then the long pass, but this time Zordich, a hero in the Cowboy game, interception for a touchdown, comes through.
Landetta will punt deep to Sikahema. 2:33 remaining in the ball game. Watch out for Renee Thompson. Sikahema does have it. And guess who made the tackle? Number 21, Renee Thompson. Next Sunday on CBS, an NFL doubleheader that starts with the NFL Today live at 12:30. In Game 1, Chicago's at Pittsburgh. Doug Williams returns to the Redskins for their rematch with Philadelphia. Terry and I will be there. And New Orleans battles New England. Then in doubleheader Game 2, these Giants go west to take on the Rams, and the Dallas Cowboys will be here in Phoenix. It all begins with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern next Sunday on CBS.
Boy, how about the Rams? Can you imagine what's happened to them?
Losing 4 in a row.
After starting out.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals. Out of the shotgun, Hogeboom, 2:25 to go. Across the middle. At the 39-yard line by Sikahema. 25-yard gain.
What better guy to provide excitement than a Pro Bowl punt returner now having to play into the backfield. 36, a little delayed screen. He comes across. Adrian White, 36, has him covered man-to-man, but the move by Sikahema gets him to the outside, just like returning punts.
1st and 10 at the 39. A touchdown will tie it up. Keep in mind, Allegre missed an extra point. Hogeboom, incomplete. Intended for Ernie Jones. I keep going back to the point you made at the outset of this ball game. They're going to have an opportunity to utilize their tight ends, Ewald, Novacek. Here we are with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Ewald has not caught a pass, and Novacek has caught one.
Yes, they haven't used him at all, and you would think Ewald, a Pro Bowl caliber tight end, I mean one of the absolute finest at running routes, blocking and catching, has not seen the ball today, and the Cardinals came into this game saying we've got to get the ball to Ewald.
They won't on this. They won't on this play. He's on the bench. 2nd and 10. Hogeboom. Still. Now, Pepper Johnson finally caught up with it at the 35-yard line. That is the 6th sack of Gary Hogeboom today. And the Cardinal quarterbacks have been sacked only 22 times coming into the ball game.
Boy, sacks really mess up a quarterback. He gets sacked as many times as Hogeboom has. You automatically think, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. And so you rush yourself mentally when you might indeed have enough time.
2-minute warning. It's 20-13. Giants lead it. These gorgeous overhead scenes taken from the Fuji blimp, and Captain John McHugh is co-piloting the Fuji blimp today. He has flown blimps all over the world, and not many areas that can be more spectacular than this one. Sun Devil Stadium, the crowd, by the way, 51,000 tickets sold, 46,000 plus on hand. So it's the season high, but still well below capacity as the ticket problems continue for the Cardinals. 3rd and 14, 2 minutes to go in the game. Johnson threatens a blitz, dances out, 4-man stunt, and that pass is caught. Don Holmes, 1st down at the 46. And it was lofted in nicely by Gary Hogeboom. 19-yard gain and a 1st and 10.
If you don't have a tight end in the slot to get to the post, then you come from the outside. Notice Holmes up. He's the seam runner. He's the guy that came open earlier in the first half, running a seam down the middle. Hogeboom hit him with the ball and surprised him. The 2nd time now Holmes ran the same route. He was open for the catch.
Coming up tonight on CBS, 47 sailors died in a gun explosion on the battleship Iowa. Did a gunner's mate aboard the Iowa kill them? 60 Minutes tonight on CBS. That's followed by Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, and then another outstanding Sunday movie, Taken Away, tonight starring Valerie Bertinelli. That's all tonight on CBS. 20-13, Bill Parcells as a motivational tool for his team this week. He has convinced them that the one game they lost last year that cost them the playoffs was a loss here in Phoenix. And as we told you, he said at the outset, I'm scared. I think Gene Stallings has done the best coaching job in the league so far. So now his Giants hang on 20-13 with 1:53 to go. 4-man rush again. Hogeboom in trouble, 7th sack. This time it's Leonard Marshall.
Well, I'm sorry, Verne, with Sharp being out now and with Dill getting beaten earlier by Lawrence Taylor, now Joe Wolf, the starting left guard, has moved over to tackle.
Hogeboom, Novacek. Sheldon White forces him out of bounds after a gain back to the 47-yard line. And again, it's going to be a big third down play. And Gary Hogeboom, Mike Zandowski has come in now as a reserve lineman. Joe Wolf still in there. It'll be 3rd and 13 from the 49-yard line with 1:35 to go. Cardinals have 2 timeouts left. 2 receivers left and 2 to the right. Intercepted. Pepper Johnson.
Now I know why they haven't been throwing in the middle.
Pepper Johnson with the key play in the win Monday night when he returned to pass. Interception for a TD.
Pepper Johnson will read, and slide right over here and pick up the hook route thrown by Hogeboom. Reading. Notice he's reading. Now he moves over. There's a throw over the middle. The quarterback, Hogeboom, does not see the inside defender. That's Johnson. Didn't see him. He throws the interception.
First down and 10 at the 45. Giants. And they get a quick 4.5 to 5 yards at the 50. Welcome to Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, I'm Verne Lundquist with Terry Bradshaw, where New York leads Phoenix 20-13. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety following football, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. We have 1:19 remaining in this ball game. And just to bring you up to date, that man's team, Gene Stallings' Cardinals, were behind 14-3 at the half. Bill Parcells, with Jeff Hostetler at the quarterback in place of Phil Simms, jumped out to a 14-3 halftime lead on a touchdown run by Hostetler and a touchdown pass by Hostetler. 14-3 at the half. The Cardinals got a touchdown run from Gary Hogeboom to make it 14-10. Then New York went the length of the field, a 10-play drive, another Hostetler touchdown to make it 20-10 with the extra point missed. And a field goal by Al Del Greco has now made it 20-13. We have 1:19 remaining. And you look at other scores on this first day of the second half of the 1989 season. Giants will try and kill the clock now and then go west. To take on the Los Angeles Rams, and the clock stops again with 1:11 to go, and that is the last Phoenix timeout. Pepper Johnson with the interception. There's Roy Green on the left side. Coverage of today's New York-Phoenix game, our senior producer Charles H. Milton III. Coverage of the game provided by David Michaels and directed by Andy Kendall. And our executive producer at CBS, Ted Shaker. Been a tough tussle for the Giants. It looked so easy, Terry, for them in the first half of play.
Well, that's why Parcells understands that Gene's Stallings' coach team will fight you all the way to the end. And Parcells knew this, and one of the things that happens a lot of times after you have beaten a team at your home as handily as these Giants beat these Cardinals in New York, you kind of, as a player, not take them. There's not quite the challenge, not quite the threat. You don't really feel it. But a coach always feels it. That's what he was worried about. His team would come in here and take these Cardinals for granted and leave here a loser.
3rd and 2. Otis Anderson, who is about to go over 90 yards for the afternoon. But now, of course, the Phoenix Cardinals cannot stop the clock. Their modest winning streak of 2 in a row will apparently come to an end.
Do you recall the last time we saw a situation? I do. The last time a situation of this was in Super Bowl 10, where our coach Chuck Noll decided to go out and not punt, but elected to run the football and gave the ball back to Staubach, who fired 4 balls into the end zone and doggone near beat us.
One of them was to Percy Howard, and he almost got it. That's right. Here's the punt. No one back. Clock down to 20 seconds. once again will be down inside the 15 as Renee Thompson leads the way down. So the Cardinals come on. Gene Stallings talks it over with Jim Schaffner, his offensive coordinator. He wishes, like the dickens, he had the man in the red cap in there. That's Roy Green. But Hogeboom will also not have J.T. Smith, who's on the bench with an ankle injury. So Don Holmes, Phil McConkey, and Ernie Jones will be his three primary deep men.
What you'd like here, if you're a Cardinal, what you would like, Verne, is to pick up 25 or 30 yards, get it up to the 50-yard line, and then have one chance left to get it in the end zone with the Hail Mary. If you do the Hail Mary now and your player catches it, it will probably be tackled and the clock would expire.
13 seconds to go. Cardinals do not have timeouts remaining. Hogeboom deep, right side. Incomplete. And time for one more play. Myron Guyton got his hands on it, but he was out of bounds. And again, the Cardinals are at home against Dallas next week. This may really take them out of the cycle in terms of playoff aspirations. 60 minutes coming up next, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. And the Giants, of course, 7-1. Jeff Hostetler with 12 of 24 throwing the football, 2 interceptions, but 1 touchdown, sacked just once, and he ran 5 times for 47 yards and 2 TDs. Hogeboom has been sacked 6 times. A flag is down, and that one is up for grabs. And I think Myron Guyton has picked it off for the New York Giants. Yes, he has. A penalty marker is down. If it's an offensive penalty, the game is over. If it's a defensive penalty, one more play. Defensive penalty, one more play. Stifle the celebration. Bill wants to hurry back so he can check out of this expensive hotel and get into more moderate surroundings.
Defense, offside, number 56, 5-yard penalty, 1 on time down.
Lawrence Taylor with 2 sacks today and 1 more penalty. And just a note, the Giants, as we have told you, are staying on the Phoenix area this week before they go to Los Angeles and take on the Rams next Sunday as the second half of our doubleheader. But they are checking out of their resort hotel into something a little more in the mid-price range for the remainder of the week. 1 on time down. This will be the final play of the game, barring another defensive penalty. Incomplete. So Bill Parcells' team wins it. Final score 20-13. The Giants win it. They're 8-1. Back to Sun Devil Stadium after this message.